Hello, Coomers. How we doing? How we doing? All right. Got something in my system. All right. Let's listen to this fucking bullshit, right?
If you haven't already, please do silence your phones so there are no distractions. Also, for our debate,
I almost want to
is
skip the
feminism
fucking
doing more good or more harm?
first statements. I don't give a
start
fuck.
by introducing
I don't give
Rachel.
a
As
fuck
she will
about
go
an opening
first.
statement.
Rachel Wilson is an author and cultural
It
commentator.
is Coom time,
whose fearless
Testy.
research
What's up,
challenges
dude?
conventional narratives about feminism, women, and family. Please join me in welcoming Rachel Wilson.
This is Crucible Con. That's what this was. This is just fucking Crucible Con. Look, right there. You see that bottom?
And on your left, we're
well, you
pleased to
can't
welcome
see because I'm in
Kyla,
the way.
also known
Actually, hold on. I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove this shit in real time. Hold on. Look, right here. Right? What do you think that says right there? The Crucible. It's Crucible Con, dude. Let's get my bald head back up there.
And on your left, we are pleased to welcome Kyla.
All my
also
favorite
known
Coomers
as
in the chat. Hello,
notsoErudite.
Confluence.
She is a thoughtful commentator who
Get
brings
some
psychology,
daylight in
social
here. Hold
science,
on.
and careful analysis to debates about gender and culture. Please join me in welcoming notsoErudite.
Oh, natural lighting is good. Andrew Wilson circle jerk. Unironically. Yeah, that's true.
All right,
That's
I
true.
am setting the timer for 5 minutes. One last thank you to
I did pre-watch
our
this, by the
sponsor,
way.
Yonagoon
We're skipping
International
opening
Cuisine.
statements. Who
Check
gives a
them out
fuck
in the
about your
description.
slideshow?
Of course, that I think it's doing more harm. Let's take a brief review.
We're not doing that. We are, dude, that's so boring. Get that boring shit out of here, dude. We're not fucking doing that. We're not doing opening statements. I'd love to see him walk away. Dude, get the fuck out of my chat, please.
Civilization already possessed and asked for those principles.
Is this
Systems
fucking,
should not assume
is this
that
an
every
opening
woman will always
statement
have
still?
or confined. I believe the
Boring.
answer is very
Boring,
equally
dude.
foolish to
Trying to get some
report
dopamine
business.
here. We got confluence in the
know
chat.
which
Let's
one.
get the dopamine going. There we go.
With that, we'll jump into the open dialogue. We'll let this be as organic as you guys would like. So
Look, he
let's
knows
take
it's
it from
going to
here.
be
I'll
a
only jump in
fucking
because
absolute shit show. Look at it, the fucking shit eating grin James
as
has.
organic
dude.
as you guys would
He
like.
knows.
So let's
He
just take it
fucking
from here. I'll only
knows.
jump in
Boring
because
woman
it's really
prattle.
crazy.
I didn't say it. You said
Okay.
it.
So I'm actually very curious about your relationship to feminism. Like, what got you interested in feminism and specifically concerns about feminism and its impacts on society? Like, what personally in your life or ideologically?
Well, that was a beautiful opening, and I appreciate all the sentiments therein, but none of this addresses the fact that we are about to fall off a demographic cliff that will make all of these beautiful, lofty sentiments mean absolutely nothing. Because as you addressed in your opening, it's not a coincidence that feminism did not exist until the industrial and technological revolutions. You need technology and first world living standards to have.
The only thing I know about this is that Rachel calls us Kyla out on Botox use at some point. No, I think it was vice versa. I think it was. I watched this. Okay, I don't give a fuck. I already watched this. Kyla said something to Rachel about Rachel using Botox. Look, you know what? Fuck it. You want some dopamine, dude? Let's fucking find it really quick. I'm pretty sure it was during the Q&A portion. They got super snippy. We're just going to jump around, dude. This is a chill stream. We're going to have some fun. We're going to find the Botox comment really quick.
But their economy is
Always
We
so
do
good.
have
It's
to
like,
keep it
no,
moving.
that's
don't allow them any
There are more
autonomy.
people.
Our
There are
shithole.
more people
Listen.
wanting to ask their questions. All right,
Islam.
all right. Next
They
up,
can't help
Kyle,
themselves.
mentioned Saudi Arabia particularly.
So
Cute
maybe
outfit
that's
on.
just
I'm
your
Everyone's-
feeling
all right,
great.
we're gonna go to the next. All right,
You've been
I'm having
a
great
freaking out
time.
this whole time.
I got a
everyone's-
cute outfit
that's
on.
just
I'm
your
feeling
all right,
great.
we're gonna go to the next question.
No. Hold on.
Participate in their workforce because it's useful for them.
Okay.
That's why they're letting them do it.
This
And by the
happens
way,
literally after after somebody asks their questions from the audience. Kyla and Rachel immediately go at it. It's great. Oh, search transcript. I'm an idiot. So true. So true. Oh, you know what's funny is I don't think there is one. I actually checked that. Yeah, see, it's usually down here. It's not down here. Right? Settle down, Kyla. But yeah, it's usually down here because what I was going to do is after I got done reviewing this, I was going to take the transcript, put it into ChatGPT, and then ask ChatGPT, who the fuck won this, right? Or there's probably like, hold on. YouTube generator. There we go. We'll make it work. Well, it might be members only. So, oh wait, this is, I think he might have, hold on. He might have released it as a video already. He did. James is the GOAT. James is the GOAT. We're going to do it. Come on. There it is, boys. There it fucking is. My king, Testy in the chat. Find Botox. Jarvis, find Botox. There we go, dude. 124.20. We got to give a little here. We'll give the build up
Kick
too.
over, Rachel. 2 minutes.
So I'm not sure that it was more efficient. As I said, in the short term, yeah, GDP go up.
Nope,
but
not
but
GDP
at
go
the
up.
expense of what? At the expense of what?
Nope,
So,
competitive GDP. I've said that.
Do you wanna
Well, if you're going to
just stick with
strawman
the-
me, do you want to talk to me or do you want to strawman me?
first of all,
It's
I think
competitive
you need,
GDP.
I think you need one of those special brownies you were talking about to bring you down from the Adderall high. Because you're just
Yay,
like,
drug insults.
it's like,
God,
whoa,
dude.
If you want to just go to like
do-
weird
Did
drug
you have-
insults and
How
like,
many Red Bulls did you have?
I don't
Just
know, Rachel, can you
chill.
raise your eyebrows? Give it a try.
All right. We are.
Ever tried it
We
before?
are going to. All right.
Yeah.
So this
your
is.
Botox looks really good
these
on you,
are-
by the way.
What are we even
All right.
talking about?
All right.
Well, I
let's
know you
do-
a Botox, and it looks great, by the way. Go
let's-
off, Queen.
all
I
right,
love
Let's
it.
do a reset.
Okay.
2 minutes for Rachel.
There you have it, dude.
Go ahead.
It's like that. It's, oh my God. It was a brutal watch. This is a brutal watch. But we're going to fucking do it. Where were we?
Want to understand why. Extend freedom and opportunity.
I like
Boring.
infrastructure, and we won't have that if first world living standards.
I'm actually very curious about your.
She
your
didn't deny it. That's
relationship
true.
to
She did
feminism.
not.
What got you interested in feminism and specifically concerns about feminism?
I mean, is it crazy work? They kind of, if you watch this, they take jabs back and forth all night about Kyla being on Adderall or meth or whatever. That's probably the worst thing Kyla said to Rachel, if I remember. I think. Could be wrong. Kyla omni-triggered.
Feminism and its impacts on society, like what personally in your life?
No, it's just
or
rhetoric, dude. That's what it
ideologically.
is.
Well, that was a beautiful
Just
opening,
rhetoric
and I
maxing.
appreciate all the sentiments therein, but none of this addresses the fact that we are about to fall off a demographic cliff that will make all of these beautiful, lofty sentiments mean absolutely nothing. Because as you addressed in your opening,
Oh,
it's not
sure.
a coincidence that feminism did not exist until...
I think only the sort of orthosphere probably does that to Kyla. And I don't even blame her. I mean, the orthosphere is fucking insufferable sometimes. Jesus Christ. I'm not even mad about it. That's why I thought it was Rachel who said it, I guess. No, that's fair. I mean, it does sound like the roles would be reversed there. I agree with that.
the industrial and technological
Absolutely.
revolutions. You need technology and first
need better
world
lighting.
living standards to have this idea that we can just push women into the workforce. Everyone can follow their dreams and do what their heart tells them to do, and everybody should have choices and all that sort of thing. But if we don't have enough men to run this first world standard of living, we will be like the only...
Oh, I think I saw that you're going live here in a little bit, Confluence. If you are, I don't mind if you're going to do like the day stream where you bring people into Discord and stuff. I don't mind. Dude, Omni Sweeper. Sweet fluence. I can't. I mean, it's up to you. It's your fucking stream, but if you don't want to do this, that's fine. I can come to your voice chat and I can play the video through Discord and also through my stream at the same time. If you guys want to listen to it while you play games, that's up to you though. Or I'll stay here. I don't care either way.
Only places in the world that are still below replacement birth rates, which would be like Africa, Pakistan. That's where we're going to be if we don't solve the demographic problem. So as much as I would love to talk about how we feel and what got us into this,
Okay, I have
I'm
a hot take
concerned
about
by
this.
the fact that I like air conditioning.
I think a lot of this stuff, a lot of these debates actually are kind of moot with AI. Like, I think AI is just going to make a lot of these problems just not matter anymore. That's just pure intuition right there, too. That's just me vibing it out. That's why I don't debate a lot of this stuff. It's just like, it seems almost moot compared to what's coming with AI.
I live in Texas, okay? I like power, I like infrastructure, and we won't have that if women don't start producing the next generation of workers who can maintain the standard that allows women to even think about whether they want to have babies or become doctors.
Okay, yeah, if you want to just do the boys' way, we can just do the boys' way.
I don't think it's inherently male to have concerns about the rational
It's a
real-world
joke. It's a joke,
implications
Rachel.
of
It's
what's
okay.
happening with feminism.
It's a joke.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I don't...
Okay, so let's maybe get into the starting point then for you. So at what point, what's the...
Fucking brutal watch. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Dude, my computer is absolute fucking trash. I hope it can handle it. I hope it can unironically handle Discord and YouTube at the same time. It's like an old work computer that I have. But yeah, just let me know whenever you go over there. Shoot me a message, if you don't mind, in my chat, because if you haven't noticed, I didn't even respond to your last DM because I saw it like 24 hours later. I don't check Discord. Conservatives are like, you don't care about the birth rate is falling. What's up, Def Not? How are you? And I'm like, it doesn't matter what I care about. It's what's happening. Get wrecked. Wait, let me reread that. Conservatives are like, you don't care about the birth. And I'm like, it doesn't matter what I care about. It's what's happening. Get wrecked. True. Actually, true. Big fan of you shitting on Wilson. True.
period do you think is most prolific for feminism really changing the she economy that you described? Is there a window of time?
Would be the 1970s.
What
when-
happened in the 1970s?
I'm glad you asked.
You're so welcome. We're
What
tag teaming
happened
this,
in
really.
the 70s was we had just been through the
These
Vietnam
interactions are
War, which was very
fucking
unpopular
hard to
and
watch.
extremely expensive, and the U.S. Treasury needed more income tax coming in.
Is it just me, or is anybody else like cringing the fuck out with how they're interacting? Like, it's hurting me to watch this. Thank God when I was listening to it, what I usually do is just, if I'm doing something, I'll just put in my fucking earbud. I'll listen to it on my phone. So it's kind of like background noise. So I kind of hear what they're saying, but I'm not all the way tuned in. But when you're fucking locked in, listening to the sort of interactions they're having, it is a brutal listen. This debate was crazy. Yeah, it's wild. It's absolutely
and
wild.
This was at the exact same time that the Rockefellers and the Fords created gender studies.
And what I think, I'll give a brief, at least point that I want to make about this debate. When I was listening, it sounded like they wanted to talk about two different things. Rachel wants to talk about the declining birth rates, and she wants to connect that to feminism. And then Kyla wants to talk about, well, no, it's not just caused by that. It's caused by modernization, technology, these sorts of things. And feminism isn't like the main cause or the sole cause or something like that. So are they even really disagreeing at that point? Because I don't think Rachel would say like feminism is the sole reason. Well, maybe she would. I doubt it, but I don't think she would say something like it's the sole reason we have declining birth rates. But I don't think Kyla ever contends with, you know what, fuck it, we'll watch it. I already don't remember, so who cares? I kind of like it because I'm toxic like that. I mean, me too. That's why we're here, right? It is petty. Oh my god, it's so petty. It's so petty and passive aggressive. Oh my god, it's so passive aggressive. It's a brutal watch. I can't do it. I'd rather them just like start fucking cursing each other out. That would be great. That's good entertainment, dude. Fuck this passive aggressive fake nice shit, you know?
They passed Title IX and started handing out college scholarships and funding for women to go to college like candy. And we saw over 20% increase in females in the workforce just in that decade alone. By the 90s, women were on par with men. And what happened at the same time as that is Roe v. Wade and the birth control pill. So women started
And
only
the gold
having...
standard getting removed. That one's kind of important too.
What's that?
Well, the gold standard got removed as well.
Subsection, if you think about it, and you must.
Sure. I don't
Well,
think
that's economically super important, right?
it's important.
We're all just like little confluence minions, if you think about it, and you must. He's got a lot of good zingers, you know, that you can steal. He does. I'll give him that. That's how women are socialized to not be outwardly aggressive. I blame the patriot. So true, dude. Women should stick to making sandwiches. That's like, you couldn't think, dude. Section, you're better than that. You can think of something. You can think of something better than that. Come on. I know you got the quick wits when it comes to your women jokes, dude. Come on.
But
What
I
do
don't
you mean
think
it's important? We fundamentally changed our
But-
relationship from the gold standard, the petrodollar, under Nixon in
but
1971.
that's not why women joined the economy.
But
That's
that
not why
might
women
explain economic
started...
changes, no?
No, it doesn't.
The gold standard.
Because what you're not understanding is it's about the birth rate. It's not that women working is a problem if they were still having 2.2 or 2.5 babies per woman. But when you tell women, hey, spend all your fertile years going to college and starting a career and don't even think about settling down and having kids until you're 31, which is the average age that a woman is having her first child now, that's a serious problem. And we have historical...
Okay, they should be chained to the bed. That was okay. That's insane, but that's a little better. Return to the gold standard. God bless. Fuck that. That sounds horrible. I want to print as much money as I want, dude. What's inflation? Inflation is fucking fake. Must not have been socialized properly. On the whatever 300 episode, she was getting up trying to fight that chick with the lisp. Was she? She was actually trying to fight somebody? That's... Really? That's pretty crazy. That sounds like dopamine to me. Am I right, Confluence? You still here? Went live just to cuck you. Not cool, bro. Dude, he's such a cuck. God, he's such a bitch, dude. I'm gonna join his fucking Discord chat right now. Hold on. I'll join his chat and then we'll continue watching. Hold on. Hopefully my computer doesn't fucking crash. When I tried to do this with my buddies, actually it was me and my one buddy, Impulse. That's his... I hate calling him Impulse because I know his real name, but I don't know if he wants me to say his name. It's a video that's on my channel right now. We were reviewing Andrew Wilson and Pixie. And dude, my computer couldn't even handle sharing a Discord video, so we had to use fucking StreamYard. It was miserable. Okay, let's see what this cuck is doing.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to set my shit up. Hi, Brandon.
Why are you doing that? Why would you go live
What do
when
you
I'm
mean?
live?
How dare you? You told me to go. Chat, don't listen to him. Chat. He's lying to you. He's lying to you.
Are you live?
I am live.
Okay.
Unless you want to like say some like TOS shit, and I can like
Oh no, I'm
trick
good on
you
that.
and lie to you and say that I'm not live and then capture it in 4K.
Can I P-bomb you?
No, you can't do that. But you can like do something that'll harm your own reputation, for example.
Okay, that's
I'll
fine.
allow that.
Look who it is. Big Soda.
Well. It's Big Soda himself.
Hello, boys.
And it's Brett. Okay, wait, Brett, you're watching my. Can you hear us on the YouTubes?
I could hear you on the YouTube and on Discord.
But can you hear other people talk on the YouTubes?
Yeah, I heard Brandon.
Okay, perfect.
Hell yeah.
Well, Brandon's the only person you need to hear. Confluent, it's hit or miss.
It's
Well,
true.
Well, with Soda, I know he knows the way, so it's all right. I don't need to hear you.
All right. Do
And
you
then,
want
yeah,
me
if you
to
share
play
your-
this video here? Or?
Yeah, I want to hear your reactions, Brandon, and chime in with my own. Can your audience hear us, by the way, or does it only work in one direction?
I'm praying to God they can hear you. Chat, can you hear the other people here? Or
Brandon's
what?
chat. You're on TikTok, right? Hi, TikTok.
No, fuck that. That's too risky.
Oh, what are you streaming on?
Just YouTube.
Well, I thought sometimes I see other. I feel like you're talking to other chat, or is that just in the past? Did you used to stream on TikTok?
I do sometimes when I because you can't say certain things on TikTok. So if I think like something like retard is going to be said, I don't stream on TikTok.
What are you trying to say about my community, Brandon? You're saying you wouldn't put us live on your TikTok? You think we'd say something potentially not allowed?
God damn no. Not a chance.
We can barely stay on YouTube.
That's true.
Okay.
We're almost like we're so close to Kick and Rumble right now. Okay. We'd be banned in like a second on TikTok. So Brandon, try sharing your screen.
Okay, let's see if my shit crashes. Hold on. Can you see it?
Yeah, we see it.
No. We should be able to hear it, and then hopefully YouTube on my end can hear it
Examples
too.
of countries who've gone through this.
Can you hear it?
Russia,
Yes.
a great one. They
Okay.
made
Just tell me if
abortion
you guys-
legal.
You can turn up on your end, Rage, too. You have volume controls for your end.
How? Oh,
Like
Never
if you
mind.
click on this, yeah.
I got it. I
Oh, we
swear
got
I'm not
Hunter
a woman.
Toby in the chat. What's up, dude? They're just
that's my
degenerates.
cousin.
That's who I'm talking to. Don't worry about them.
I don't hate Death
You
Not
had a
Test.
debate coming out, right?
Huh?
Did you say you had a debate coming up, Brandon?
Fuck no. I did fill out horseradishes thing though, and I never do that.
That's who I'm talking to.
Does horseradish like do auditions for debate, or he just lets anybody who applies come on?
No, you have to
Wait,
like.
what?
I had to dress up in a dress and heels and send him a video. It was weird.
Yeah, you have to do like a humiliation kind of ritual.
Yeah,
That's what I figured.
right.
Red lipstick, the whole shebang.
Brandon, if I end up judging you on horses, that'll be so funny if it ends up working out that way. I fucking love that.
I hope so.
What the
Actually.
hell is going on in here?
Hey, Putoy. And thank you, Tessie, for the $2. Yeah, why, Paige, why were you posting thirst traps of Big Soda? Kind of crazy.
Because he looked so handsome. I thought he looked so handsome in that picture, and he goes and says, "Oh, I have a big nose." That picture made
my
you.
nose was my nose
You
was
should have
looking
seen
sharp.
Brandon, you don't have to wait for us to like stop talking. You know, we can. There will be probably us talking during the video about the video, but hopefully
sure.
we'll stay on track.
All right, just say pause it whenever you guys want to pause it. Okay.
All right.
All right. And I don't know how long I'm going to be on here, but I'll let you know.
And paid for in state hospitals under Lenin. And it was so bad, like the demographic cliff was so bad for Russia that by the time Stalin came to power, he had to roll all of that back. But because they were communists, they wanted to push women into the workforce. You need workers to have communism. Women needed to be working. And they tried to do women workers and pronatalism at the same time. It did not work. They've never recovered
all
their
economies
birth
need
rate.
workers, right? The most important piece of basically capital investment
sure.
is human
Which is
human
why
capital.
you could also look at South Korea, which is a very capitalist Western style economy, but has also been taken over by feminism, and they have 0.7 births per woman right now. There's not going to be a South Korea in the next 20 or 30 years if they don't turn it around.
I'm curious, what's the number one correlate to declining birth rates in a nation?
Women's access to higher education.
Correct. Yes, women's access. It's actually everyone's access to higher education. So I'm curious, would you consider Saudi Arabia particularly feminist?
Hell yeah.
Not particularly feminist, no.
Qatar?
But no.
Okay, so the Gulf states also have declining birth rates, but feminism isn't causing that. What's happening there?
Because they've started They've started.
Saudi
to.
Arabia, famous
Yes.
for feminizing. Qatar, famous for feminizing.
They started
They
letting
have
women
started
drive.
letting women work. They've started
Yeah,
first
allowing things like
mistake.
birth
Their
control.
birth rate's been
Disaster.
declining for a long time.
It's a step
actually,
in the
it's
right
below
direction,
where it is
right?
now.
Yes, everybody in first world economies where there's
Next thing you know,
urbanization,
Asians will be able to
industrialization,
drive.
as I explained, that's
Sorry,
what
I just
enables
can't take this
feminism.
So isn't
goddamn
it
sexism.
urbanization that
I'm
we're
outta
blaming
here.
'Cause I feel
Not
like
No, it was actually a misclick. I'm too tired to be on panel. I just didn't want to leave and be rude.
How about you just show your
See you
face?
later.
Bye, Futoy.
All
Don't come
right,
back.
I'll see you later, Futoy. I'm gonna show up at his fucking house.
Just careful
Not-
going to Ireland, Brandon. Some
That
crazy
sounds like a-
fucking people over there.
That sounds like a good time. If you go over there, everybody just acts like Conor McGregor.
That would be big.
Every bar's just got 8 Conor McGregors.
until
thing.
you push women into the workforce and they stop having kids. Again, if women were working as nurses and still having 2.5 kids per woman, I would have no problem with it. But nothing you're addressing tells me what we're going to do about this.
well, nothing
What-
you're pointing
how is
to
your-
says it all falls at the
Brandon,
feet of
can you pause for a
feminism,
sec?
right? What you're pointing
Why-
Of course.
So I feel like you've probably weirdly listened to Rachel Wilson probably more than I have in a strange turn of events. Do you know what does she want? Like how, like, does she have prescriptions on how we, like, I guess,
Read her
stop
book.
women from being in the workplace?
I don't. I mean, if
Yes.
I had to guess, I feel like it would all be cultural influence. I think that's her sort of prescription. I don't know if she wants to do anything legally. I could be wrong about that, but it sounds like she just wants to change the culture somehow. But I don't know if she gives specifics.
Okay, I know she wants to, like, repeal the, you know, the 19th or whatever, but
So,
I don't know if
isn't her
that-
isn't her views? I mean, pretty much the same as Andrew's.
Probably. What does Andrew
so-
say?
I thought the whole idea is to have a single income household again.
Right, but how does she want to get there, I guess, is my question. Like, yeah, like just by cultural stuff, but how do we even do that culturally? Because, like, I don't think
Right.
most people can really afford to live on, like, a single, like, that's how things are kind of designed now. Houses are based on, like, a 2 income. So how do we, like, put the genie back in the fucking bottle, I guess? I don't know if she's
Exactly. Yeah, that I
You
don't
would have-
know.
You would have to start like with massive economic policies to try and push us back into at least a area where we're able to do that.
right. There'd have to be like some like economic reset or something. Because if everyone just started doing that, now, like, already people can't buy houses. People would just be able to buy less houses if people were just on, like, single incomes, right? Like the median wage would have to shift, housing prices would have to go down. I don't know enough about the economy to know how this could happen, but I just feel like if all of a sudden we just took that prescription seriously and, like, Big Soda, I don't know if your wife works actually.
Nope.
That's okay. So I guess I guess it works for you. So
Yeah,
maybe it is
yeah.
possible. But I feel like
Thanks.
if a lot of people's wives stopped working, I feel like they would just, like, lose their house, you know? I don't know.
I feel like they would have to, like, buy all the social media platforms to even change things culturally. I mean, like how else are you going to change it culturally unless you have that sort of, you have large platforms to where you can push out the sort of propaganda that you want.
Right,
Yeah,
because, like, to
like-
change, to influence a few people to want to do this, that's one thing. But to, like, cause something where the housing prices are actually decreasing and stuff like that, I feel like it would have to be like there'd have to be like a tipping point of an amount of people doing this, right? So then housing costs are dependent on a single income household instead of being dependent on a 2 income household. But there has to be like an amount of people doing that. Otherwise, I just don't think it's going to work.
You know
Right.
what?
It's
I
already got
hope
to be leveled.
I
It's
hope
already got to
they,
be leveled. Go ahead.
I hope they succeed so me and my fiance can keep working. We'll just have double the money of these broke fucking 1 income households. You know? We'll fucking wealth mog them.
Yeah, you'd be fucking rich. Brandon, do you mind if I read super chats? I know you're, like, live and stuff,
I don't
but
give a
okay.
fuck.
Thank you, World Radio. Confluence is on this fucking level. Take a Zin break, refresh yourself. I'm on a Zin break. The problem is I'm drinking coffee, but it also has Kahlua in it. So I think it's, like, helping and not helping at the same time. And Futoy says, thank you, Futoy, for the €2. Brandon, y'all do nothing. I don't know what that means, but Futoy is trying to mog you, Brandon.
Dude,
How
fuck
do you
you,
feel about
Futoy.
that?
That's why you ran. That's why you ran from the voice chat, buddy. Isn't it bedtime where you're at? Go to bed.
It should be a normal time.
Yeah, it should. I was gonna say this should be his normal operating hours, or at least just waking up.
Oh, is he behind us in the time zone bullshit?
I think
I
so.
think he's like, I thought he's like 9
ahead.
hours ahead of us.
Yeah,
We'll
go to
see.
fucking bed, dude.
Because it's like 4 a.m. Yeah, when it's like 7 my time. So yeah, I guess it's probably midnight is my guess. I think so.
Yeah,
But it's a
dude, get some
Friday
sleep.
night, you know. Futoy's a young buck, so
Now,
else is
when
on
we
the
say
live?
young buck, are we talking anywhere from like 40 to like 80?
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere in that bracket. All right, let's hear this woman prattle.
Did
Right
the women
now,
stop having babies?
because of modernization through increased education. Saudi
Yeah,
Arabia,
because they're-
I'm so sorry. As much as you want to insist Saudi Arabia is feminist, it's certainly not. In fact, do you know why women in Saudi Arabia are pushed into education? It increases their dowry value. That's why. Because it's like
That sounds like an Islam problem.
well, Victoria, England did this as well, where essentially they view proof of education as good genetic stock, so it makes that wife a more valuable woman. So
Right.
Should
but I don't
lower
see
their
that
dowry.
crisis
That's
in
crazy.
Victorian England.
well, the thing that you have to disentangle here is why is Saudi Arabia having the same problems that you're falling at the feet of feminism? And I'm saying it looks more like modernization might be the problem here. And Saudi Arabia certainly has both modernization, but it certainly doesn't have feminism. So you're going to have to answer
The
the Qatar Gulf
CDC and the
problem.
United Nations both say that the main correlate for declining birth rates is sending women to college and sending them to work.
I didn't
And
disagree with that.
As a mother
That's just
of
not
5,
feminism.
as a mother of
necessarily.
5, you cannot have more than maybe one child and work full time because you have to outsource motherhood to daycare, which
Why?
is expensive.
So much
What do you mean,
bird
why?
hands? Do you
Why
mean
we
like
have
people
the
moving their
runaway
hands? Is that
cost
what that
issues in
means?
America?
Runaway what?
Who else is
Cost
on the
issues
live?
in
It's just random
It's
people I've
not
met on
runaway cost issues.
YouTube.
It's the
It's
fact
not?
that
It's
The
not
other dude,
affordable right
Confluence,
now.
is live right
you
now. If you want
can't
to check
make
him out.
daycare cheap enough for it to offset the cost of a woman working full time. That's math. How are you
I don't
going to
think
make
that's- I
daycare
don't think that's
cheap
true at
enough
all.
that a woman can have 5 babies and work a full time job? And why?
Wait, I missed it. What was said? I was talking to chat.
She said that it's just impossible math wise. Rachel said this, that it doesn't make sense to work a full-time job and also put your kid in daycare. I don't know.
people
Like, is
do
it
that?
maybe stuff works different in right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I personally know people that do that, so I'm assuming the math has to work out that they're making more money. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing that. I mean, daycares are all over the place. Like, so I don't really understand how she's even saying that. Like, do you
Wait,
think
there's-
everyone that's using daycare is just taking a net loss, and just doesn't realize it?
There's no way she said that. Hold on.
You
What?
can't make daycare cheap enough for it to offset the cost of a woman working full time. That's math.
You can't.
See, like, how else do you take that?
You can't.
Well, she
make
did
daycare
say you
cheap
can't
enough.
make it cheap enough, not necessarily, you know.
But it obviously is cheap enough if women are doing it, unless she just thinks that women are taking a net loss and they'd be better off just staying at home and not working, and no woman has realized that, and they're actually just losing money.
And
Well,
what is a
no.
net loss? Does she mean like the money that the woman is bringing in from her job isn't
I
on
think
par
so.
with what she's paying
I-
for daycare? That sounds insane.
Yeah. How I mean, how else what's the other way to interpret what she's saying? Like, it sounds insane, but I don't know what else she'd be. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Futoy
the-
says that's a Conor McGregor quote when he said, "Brandon, y'all do nothing." Okay, I see.
Oh, you'll do nothing. Okay, I know what
Right.
he's talking about. Okay, good for him.
Maybe with Rachel, maybe she means the only steel man is she was talking about how she has like 5 kids, and I'm assuming the cost goes up the more kids are in daycare. And so there is probably, well, there has to mathematically be an amount of kids where now your job, unless it's a very good job, is not going to offset that. If you have like 10 kids, the cost of putting 10 kids in daycare, I think most daycares give you a bit of a discount if you have like multiple kids, but still, right? But for someone who has like 1 or 2 kids, I don't see how that doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure how the math would work there, but unless you, like you said, have like 7 kids or something, and each kid is like $200 a day, like you better have a good paying job. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Plus, when families are actually valued, you actually still have grandparents around. You know what I mean? Like, so if everybody isn't all spread out all over to find the best job that they can, do what's best for them, you know, you still benefit from the outer family network as well. Whereas if you have no connection to your father and mother and you have kids, you can't rely on them at all to help you with some of this stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, it's also assuming that you would need like daycare 100% of the time, that you have no like family structure at all to like kind of take the burden off a bit.
Hello.
Hey, Kirk.
No questions,
Kirk.
please.
No questions. We're co-streaming with Brandon in a way, and he's guiding us through this this feminist debate, if you will.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on feminism, Kirk? Really quick.
I have a mixed attitude. I think that things like abortion are bad, but I support women having the right to vote.
Half-based. Okay.
How about
Hey.
one
I'm going
vote?
to make
How about just one vote per household? That'd be fine.
How about you
That's
only
that's a
vote?
reasonable proposal.
How
But
about
the
fucking
problem is,
IQ
then,
test for
how do you
voting?
allocate that up? Who would get to decide? Would it be the
That's not fair,
husband or the
Brandon. I
wife?
wanna
Like, I just don't
vote.
know how you realistically enforce that.
You're just trying to make the Republicans lose, Brandon. I think that's unfair.
Yeah, stop that.
We should definitely have some sort of testing for you to be able to vote. You guys should look into
Well, I mean, actually, I was going to say something, but it's probably too spicy for the panel.
Yeah, don't.
yeah, please. Don't. You guys should look into I think it's called epistocracy. He's like a libertarian guy, but he has this view of voting. It's kind of like you have to know what you're talking about for your vote to count, but it's like weighted voting. Like the more shit you know, the more your vote counts. The less you know, the less your vote counts. Intuitively, that sounds kind of fucking awesome. I don't want a bunch of idiots voting on shit that they don't know about, but at the same time, how the fuck would you do that without causing
Yeah, it sounds like it would invite a lot of
disparities?
political corruption. The thing I would prefer would be my preferred strategy would be gerrymandering out the segments of the population where there's a concentration of basically low IQ voters in certain geographic areas.
What's the color of the people you're trying to segment out?
Right, what did you just say, dude?
Mixed of all different colors.
But not the
Mixture of all
right?
different colors.
It's a combination. It's no one specific color. It has nothing to do with color. It has to do with basically if you can find that there's a region, like a geographic region of the country which has a lower IQ, like for example, is popular in inner cities, then you should gerrymander out their vote.
Kirk, I'm gonna find you, Kirk. I'm gonna pull up Brandon and find you.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking find you too, dude. Give us your address.
Wait, why would you want to find me?
Because
You're just hitting a triple threat of your casual racism that you think
How is that
everyone is.
racism? I didn't mention
Just
race.
stop. Just stop. I said this yesterday. You somehow think
but
everyone
I
on
did-
panel, despite listening to what you've been saying for the past 3 times, thinks that everyone is like too stupid to like connect the dots that you're consistently painting.
No, I can't connect the dots. So can you explain to me? Because I can't connect the dots here between what you're saying and racism.
No, I'm not going to humor you. Brandon, go play the video.
yeah, good idea.
That's subliminal racism.
daycare cheap enough that a woman can have 5 babies and work a full-time job. And why would you want that?
Well,
Why don't we want mothers? Any mothers here love having to send their kids to be raised by someone else all day? Do you
well,
guys
the question
like that?
again, you can narrativize, but the question I'm actually trying to pose you and get an answer to is what changed in the 70s, as you claim, where women started becoming dual income earners? What changed in families? What was going on? And you're like,
massive-
the gold standard.
Are you asking
That doesn't
what?
matter.
No, I'm telling you exactly what happened, and this is not me.
Contraception.
This is the U.S. Department of Labor, the U.S. Department of Commerce. All the sources in my slides say that in the 70s, the reason was because we had a huge income tax deficit because of the Vietnam War. At the same time that they had passed birth control legislation making it legal, and not only that, making it free and cheap and socially acceptable. We had Roe v. Wade, now everybody can get an abortion, and at the same time, you start pushing through the culture through a massive propaganda campaign, through things like, remember the Stepford Wives movies, remember the Mary Tyler Moore show? The 70s were just saturated with girl boss empowerment stuff, and I was born in 1980 with She-Ra and Madonna and, telling women that motherhood is a ball and chain, that the smart girls go to college and have their own money and they don't need a man. So you've got this cultural propaganda campaign, you've got government money subsidizing college, which is why it's so expensive, by the way. And then you've got birth control and abortion. Okay. So the trend becomes Go get your bag, go get your career. Men are icky and bad, they're gonna abuse you. Children are a ball and chain that are gonna hold you back. You need to go to work.
Sure.
And that's
so
what women do. They
still haven't gotten an answer.
Yeah, and
to
what's
the
funny
Gulf
is
states.
that
Seems
people
like
on the
that one
left
is
will
just-
say, "Oh, we need to protect people from big businesses," when it's the big businesses that promote this girl boss bullshit because they want basically women to work a 9-to-5 job, and they don't want women to basically have a husband because that would require domestic labor and stuff that would take away from them being productive members of a company. So they're not actually anti-capitalist.
Yeah, but Kirk, you're trying to advocate for intellectual hierarchy, and I'd say there already is intellectual hierarchy. It's just not as explicit as what you're trying to go for.
My point there had nothing to do with intellectual hierarchy. I'm
Well,
saying
only
that
only the smart people can vote if you're gerrymandering out the unintelligent.
Okay, we're
that's
moving
not
on.
what
We're moving on from that point. Kirk's gonna
Oh,
trigger
okay.
me.
But that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that the left is hypocritical for saying that they want to protect people from big businesses, but then support the feminist agenda of the big businesses.
Yeah, no, that's a valid point.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And also, I will say with what the red pill I think gets right is I do think, unless someone wants to challenge me on this, but I think the main cause probably is the birth control and the abortion thing. Like I think that leads to all the other stuff. Now, of course, but this is my argument, I guess, on why I don't know how we would go back, because we obviously can't like uninvent birth control. It's never going to be banned, so we can't just like live in that world. But I think the red pill is right, not in that they see it as a bad thing. I don't know if they're right on that, but they're right. I think that is what caused this like massive shift to happen, where if women have reproductive autonomy, that's going to like change a lot of things about society and culture.
I just don't understand why we can't get a hold of the drug industry and not allow them to give drug pills to eliminate kids. Because I mean, ultimately, that's where the majority of the abortions are coming from. They made it so much easier to do it. And so, like, there isn't this, like, okay, we have to have a surgery. Okay, there's going to be some trauma. Well, maybe not as bad a trauma if you take the pill. You know what I mean?
They tried that, right? But didn't they try to ban like mepistrone, or I'm saying that wrong, but you know what I'm talking about, that like
yeah, but they've got
one of the abortion pills that you take in conjunction with that other pill.
Yeah, I think they got it back. I'm pretty sure if somebody looks.
Yeah, they tried to ban it, but they failed.
Exactly.
Okay, real quick, I do have a question, Confluence. Since it's an open panel, can I just please get it out?
No, you can't. We're co-streaming with Brandon, Kirk. We're co-streaming with Brandon, and we're watching this video. That's what we're doing right now. Okay.
But you said yesterday that today would be an open panel where I could ask my questions.
Yeah, not right now. Not right now.
I love how
when can I ask my question?
I don't
I'll
know.
probably be
Kirk,
going in
at
like
some
30
point.
minutes if you want to.
There you go.
Like
So
30 minutes.
let's keep going through the video. Well, Brandon, actually, do you agree with what I said before you play? That's probably like the main cause of the economic shifts is probably birth control. The red pill is probably right about that.
I mean, with stuff like that, like the empirical stuff, it gets really hard. I mean, I can see that playing a major role. I don't know if it's like the main one, but I'm sure you can make an argument for that. I don't have a strong view, though, if I'm being honest.
All right, fair enough.
Wait, hold on. You said 30 minutes? Did you say 30 minutes?
Shut up, Kirk.
Yeah, my fiance
Shut
gets
up.
off at around 5, so yeah, somewhere around there.
Well, then can we play it at 2 times speed?
Shut up, Kirk. I'm gonna fucking kick your ass from the Discord. I swear to God.
I'm just asking you to play at 2 times speed.
I'm having fun with Brandon, okay? If you don't like this, you can fucking check out, okay? You're disrupting my Brandon time, and he's got limited time. You're being a little shit.
Do you guys want me to speed it up though? Is it too slow? I don't mind doing that.
No,
Okay.
I think it's fine. Don't listen to Kirk. Never listen to Kirk.
Because I do that sometimes. I do speed it up, so I don't know if you guys do that.
In fact, make it slower.
All right, let's do it, dude. Hold on.
Still haven't gotten an answer.
Oh shit,
They're drunk. Yeah,
They're so fucking drunk.
They're fucking hammered, dude.
This is my kind of party.
Talk for us to have a
If record clip, two debaters show up drunk to debate.
As well.
All right, that's brutal.
Right, so let's talk a little bit about the 70s.
Go ahead, Kyla.
If you want Rachel to just monologue, I can just sit here if you want. But if you want the debate and show, I have to participate too. So Let's talk a little bit about the 70s.
But it fucking hurts.
So the
It
70s
fucking
is
hurts.
where
It's so
what did you say,
catty.
what percentage increase?
I
was
hate
something
her
over
because she looks so good.
20%.
Until 20%. So 70s to what? What was the 20% point? Was it the 90s, 2000s?
No, just in the 70s alone, I believe it went up.
No.
Female labor force participation went way up in the 70s. It was
So I'm
the
gonna-
biggest jump, and then it continued in the 80s and 90s,
Yes.
and now we
Yeah,
have
so-
about equal
okay.
numbers.
So I'm going to show you a beautiful thing that we can do in the world, okay? This is a graph. This is a very,
Oh, is
very
that what that
wonderful
is?
graph that makes your point look true. This is your point, okay? So we've got 1975, we've got 39%. It's from the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
love
Okay,
when
you're gonna
women
love it.
show
And by
graphs.
1990s, we have that almost 20% jump to 58%. And
So
look how
who's getting- so
steep
who's
that
getting
looks.
raped?
Very spooky,
Whoa.
spooky graph.
Calm down,
Issue with
Frankie.
cherry-picked
Take 'em.
data is that if you zoom out and include all data that's relevant, suddenly
different word.
spooky lines don't look so spooky.
Okay, who's getting
In the
diddied right
70s,
now?
nothing magically happened.
Frankie,
in the
we're
world.
co-streaming with someone
We had
else.
a
Behave, please.
consistent trend of
First,
women
I'm
since the
sorry.
1950s
It's
going
always
into the
she's mad
workplace,
that-
particularly
she's mad they
married
used a
women, because
logarithmic
unmarried women
graph, I
always
guess.
participate in the workforce. If
Oh,
you actually want
okay.
a spooky graph
Yeah,
with a big
Brandon's
jump,
streaming on
the
PBS,
major
so watch your
points
language.
when
Oh, fuck PBS.
women entered the workforce at astronomical
How's
numbers, with a
everybody doing?
10% leap in like 4
Good.
years, is this graph. It was World War
Brandon,
II.
how you doing?
This is the only notable moment. If you'll notice on this graph,
Hey, he's
it's
probably
all
talking to
the
his
same
chat, so he's
trend
probably
line.
muted.
So if you're gonna blame
Section
everything,
230 is my first time seeing you here. How you
Oh,
doing?
sorry. I muted. I'm doing well, bro. How are you? Sorry.
I'm doing all right, man. Section, this is my first time seeing you here.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Hey, man, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
I'm
Hey, you
surrounded
guys are
by
gonna-
right-wing nut jobs.
You guys are
I mean, you know.
Brandon's like, I regret everything. Why did I suggest that Confluence go live and I joined?
Terrible
You
idea.
guys aren't going to talk when they pull the Venn diagrams up, are you?
What the hell's a
I
video?
hope
I
not.
enjoy it.
I'm excited about these graphs.
You don't like graphs?
I'm just kidding.
What's a
Wait a
Venn
minute, hold on,
diagram?
let me finish my thought, then you can attack it. If you're going to blame everything from 1970s forward, you're going to have a tough time because the data
like a
shows that
vagina
it's the
diagram or
identical
something?
trend since the
No.
1940s. And if you zoom out 200 years, you get this graph, which is
I
a
mean,
U.
it sounds similar.
So
It looks
once
like
you
a vagina.
actually look at the
It looks like
full
she drew that
comprehensive
graph.
story, your narrative.
You guys getting off to a Venn diagram right now? Is that what I hear?
Nothing remarkable happened in the
love fucking
1970s
graphs.
except for one thing, and I'm curious if you know what actually happened in the 1970s.
Well,
Oh.
instead of playing pop quiz Kyla, first
Good
of
one.
all, here's my.
So good.
It's just your
Fucking
typical
hell,
God.
dude.
I just want to be clear. If
Brutal.
you don't know words,
happened to this? What
Look
do
at-
you think about this? What happened
My
here?
favorite part about female
I just want to be very clear before
I
we get
thought
to the
we were
personal.
going to take turns. I
Well,
thought we
if
were
we're
going
going to get to the
back and
personal
forth.
insults, I'm just going to quickly respond.
I didn't insult you. I just
All right, for the new people in the chat, if you want me to pause it, just say pause it, and I'll pause it for you.
Pause.
pointed out that your
If you have something important to say,
Yeah, no Kirk questions. Sorry, Kirk.
But fuck you, Kurt.
Yeah,
I
we're
didn't
not
say
sorry.
that. I like Kirk. He's
Fuck you,
just
Frankie.
there. You go. Thank you. Good job, Kirk. You got him.
It's just weird.
pop
Notorious
quiz your
compliment.
opponent. It's something you do in every debate.
So thank you. The front loading of saying my opponent Kyla will just happen to know way more
When
technological
you're done being offended, I'll
information and
respond
knowledge
to the
than
actual
me.
point.
I mean,
know
I'll
you
take
wanted
it.
to have a girl debate, but I would like to stick
No,
to
you said the boy
actual
debate.
argument.
So here we are, baby girl. You want the boy debate? We're here.
Yeah, we're doing it.
baby girl.
So
Is she going to pull out
what
her
happened
penis?
in the 1970s?
What
Again, that's
happened?
so magical.
What happened after World War II?
What happened
To all
after
those
World
women
War II?
who went to work,
They
what
s-
did they do?
it
did
went
they
down-
go back home?
5%.
Yes, they did.
Well,
they went back home.
5%, and then look, the same line of best
Who's
fit
putting out
from
whose penis?
before World War II. Because you know what made women go back into workplace? Access
Soda, are you
to
pulling
new
out your own penis?
technologies that made it
No,
easier to go
Frankie,
back
I'm
to the
watching the
workplace.
debate.
Of course,
That's what made
I
them go
already. You haven't heard me say this the 3 times I've heard it. Industrialization and technology allowed for this. Yes, obviously.
But we wanna
that
throw it
doesn't
at the feet of
address my
feminism.
point. That doesn't address the point of what you're going to do about the demographic cliff we're about to fall off of.
We can
Do
get
you
there.
understand how you can possibly have
This is a
feminism in
crazy
a
pivot.
world? If you're going to keep interrupting me,
I'll write
I'll
it
just
down.
ask for time.
I'll ask my question after
Because
you're done.
if I interrupt you, it's a big problem. But apparently, I can't speak. I need to participate in order for this to be a conversation, Kyla.
I'm going to
Ideally,
fucking
yeah.
unalive
So-
myself.
When you monologue for 5 minutes straight, yeah.
Jesus.
Typically, I need to
None
be able to
of
respond back.
this. None of.
Wait,
We don't have to
pause for
spend
just a
40
second.
minutes
I got
on what
one
happened.
question. Brandon, you seem to watch a lot of debates. Can you give me one good debate between two females?
Off the top of my head, it would
Off the
be
top
like
of your
some.
head.
Off the top of my head, no, but I could find you some. But it's not like anybody you would know. It would be some TikTok Bill women, you know.
It would be a debate about who made the sandwich better.
I mean, like,
Actually,
this is. I care less about this debate.
yeah, this is brutal. It's a brutal watch.
Yeah, let's
Sorry,
talk about
guys.
physics.
Shut
let's
up,
not.
Kirk.
Great
Let's stand
idea.
up.
Fuck
Look
up.
at another synagogue, Kirk.
Sorry, Kirk.
Don't apologize to him. He deserves everything.
Loki does sometimes. Poor guy.
Like, is it weird? Like, isn't it weird that my dick is getting soft watching these two? Like, it seems like my dick is just getting soft.
No, that's probably that's probably normal, actually.
Happened in this decade or why women worked. The point
You
of
certainly don't want to.
Again,
Yes.
the point of everything we're
Hard for your
talking about
narrative,
here is that, yes, thanks, James. Nothing you're saying addresses the fact that we are about to have a collapse of our first world standard of living. This economy in the West, and it's ubiquitous across all Western nations. In fact, it's so congruent across all of them that it's kind of crazy. Like Statistics
Rob in the
Canada
bottom left corner?
has the same GDP numbers that the United States has, that Australia has, that Western Europe has, which is when you push women to go to college
hat
and
is
have
squeezing his
careers
head,
and
so
have their own
probably.
money and be financially independent, they listen and they do that. And they say, if that's what's expected, I'm not going to have kids. Now, again, we can go back and prove this is what happened in Russia. And it didn't matter how many pro-natalist campaigns they had. Women said, if I got to work full time, I can't have 3 or 4 kids. It doesn't work. You look at South Korea, same thing. They don't have communism.
I do
They
have a
don't
question.
pronatalism.
This is directly
It's a
related to the debate. This actually is directly related to the debate. So, Confluencer Brandon, basically, do you think that the reason they promoted basically women going to college was because of left-wing intellectuals who are funded by the Soviet Union in order to destabilize Western culture?
That sounds like a heavy burden. I probably would not accept that.
Well, so take for example, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Frankfurt School, but they were a group of basically Marxist intellectuals from Germany, and I've heard some people say that like they were doing this to subvert America in order to basically help the Soviet Union by promoting things like feminism and other things like radical feminism. And
But then every successful country just also started doing that and ended up working weirdly well, at least in terms of like what the Soviet Union would care about. Right, like the second world has lost out, right? So it's like, so I feel like that if that's the idea, then it backfired heavily, and every successful country, right, has women in the workforce and stuff, and women going to college.
I mean, I agree, but I don't think that women entering the workforce at the scale that they did was a good thing for America.
I guess, but like maybe on like a social level, but in terms of like, again, what you would think would be like some Cold War incentives, obviously it like spurred on the economy, it boosted GDP, it caused the military industrial complex to get even more crazy. Like it did, it worked in a complete opposite direction. So I think, yeah, I would need to see a lot of evidence that this is specifically like a Soviet-led thing. Again, in the entirety of every successful country, and even in developing nations, right, you see women going to college more. So somehow this Soviet plot has like really took hold and is actually like raising all tides in a weird way. So I would think that's unlikely.
Well, I mean, but think about it long term. Why is it that America has a diminishing birth rate? Well, it's I think that's pretty clearly correlated with women entering the workforce en masse. And a diminishing birth rate is good for countries like Russia and China, because Russia and China do want to see America's birth rate fall, because if America's birth rate falls, that means they can maintain their traditions, but subvert Western culture basically.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, that brings up a question which I don't know the answer to. I don't know if anyone here does. Like, how many women are in the workforce in China? Like, I actually don't know that. Are they like very traditional, or because if their women are entering the workforce, then I don't really think that idea is really holding up. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if China has like a strong like stay-at-home mom culture or not.
No, China is all about productivity, work, do it for the state. Do it for the state.
That doesn't mean that they don't want to subvert us by doing shit like feminism in our country and stuff like that. They definitely do that, and we have evidence that they push that kind of propaganda. But something that Kirk is probably missing.
I just found it. 300
for women workforce.
300 and really quick, 320 million women in China are in the workforce, which makes up 43% of China's total workforce.
Okay, so
yeah, totally different thing. But that's a totally different thing, though, from our version of feminism here in the West. Because in China, it's about the state. If the women are in the workforce, that means they're doing it for the state. That's been implemented since Mao Zedong in the 60s and 70s. That's been implemented. So then, this version of feminism that we're facing now is an entirely Western thing. And the fact that China is using it to their advantage is going to be detrimental to us in the long run.
But obviously, what it does mean is that merely having women in the workforce does not mean that your birth rate has to suffer, right? It means you could have both. If China has 40% of their workforce is women, and they still have like a insane population, then it obviously means you could have both. You can have your cake and fucking eat it too.
They're actually having problems with their population, especially because of their one-child policy. So
which they were doing because they had too many kids. They had too big of a birth rate.
About to crash very soon. And again, something.
Yeah, their gender ratio's all fucked. I agree, but I'm just saying do you get what I'm saying? I'm saying those two things don't have to be linked. There's obviously some way that you could still have women in the workforce and somehow fix the birth rate problem. Like, it's not like those things are like tied 1-to-1, that you would have, if you want a better birth rate, you just have to kick women out of the workforce. Like, I don't see that if China if those stats are right.
Yeah, but it goes back to the family dynamic. I mean, they've got really good families, like the way that their families are pretty tight.
Right. Because I would say probably the same thing with like India and stuff, where it's like a lot of these countries, they have more like traditional stuff going on. It's probably more of a cultural issue than it is like women in the workforce and stuff like that, in my opinion. But that's kind of a guess, but
I said this on stream earlier, but I think a lot of this stuff is moot with AI. I mean, you have people like Elon, Sam Altman, the guy from Anthropic, all saying, yeah, we're basically going to have a fucking genie that can grant you wishes within the next 5 to 10 years. So I don't even know if this stuff is even important.
Brandon, you're talking about AI. How much linear algebra do you know?
What's that matter?
Well, you're claiming AI is going to do this thing when you don't know how AI works. And if you don't know how AI works, why are you talking about AI?
Because I can listen to the experts and use that as a heuristic for my beliefs, as we do with most things.
Kurt, you barely understand.
That's a good answer, Brandon.
You barely understand what fucking sex is. You have a micro penis. You barely understand what sex is, Kurt. So how can the fuck you question Brandon about AI when you don't even understand what fucking gender you are, dude? Get the fuck out of here, dude.
I'm not.
Right.
I'm saying, Brandon. So is your claim that in basically AI is going to act as a genie?
I don't know if it'll be literally like a genie, but I think the point they're making is the sort of abundance that we're going to see is going to be unprecedented.
But the thing is, how are you going to know if that's true if you don't know anything about the mathematics of how AI actually works?
Or Kirk, shut the fuck up.
I don't know why.
Brandon gave you a very good answer.
I know, but what if what if you're misinterpreting those experts?
Then I'm wrong.
No, what if you're misinterpreting what the experts are saying because you don't know the language you're using to express it, which is mathematics?
Well, they weren't using jargon when they said in 5 years we'll basically have a genie. There was no jargon in that sentence. But I think I can extract what they're saying and understand what they're saying.
Yeah,
We're not
abundance
interpreting
means
the
abundance.
I'm just saying it's good to have some intellectual humility.
Cool.
Shut the
That's
fuck
exactly
up,
what I'm
Kirk.
doing, dude. That's exactly what
Holy
I'm doing.
God, Kirk.
Fucking crazy.
I'm trusting the experts, dude. You know?
Crazy thing for Kirk to say.
I know. He's mogging him, huh? Intellectual
Self-awareness
mogging.
of 0.
Brandon or Kirk, if you come at Brandon, you better not miss. I'll show up at the house.
Actually.
He's already got his flight booked to Ireland. Now he's going to do a little stopover and where the fuck you live, Kirk.
Yeah. Give me your fucking address, dude. Oh, we got Corinth in the chat. What's up, Corinth? All right, here we go. Here we go, boys.
Capitalist Western style economy, and they can't even reproduce the Korean woman.
Okay.
It's a serious problem that arguing over the gold standard or the 70s or women should have choices. First of all, they've always had choices. Second of all,
just less.
if you don't address this problem, you can kiss feminism goodbye. You won't have it anymore. It won't exist.
There's this really famous, actually, you introduced me to this researcher, Joseph Miller, because you cite him a few times. There's a great conversation that the anti-suffragettes had where they insisted that, oh, by God, if the feminists, if all this happens, the world is going to collapse. People have been insisting that the world is going to collapse in the next 10 years. I mean, they're like climate people as well. We're insisting that we were going to die in the next 10 years as well. It's just fear mongering that's not typically based in reality. Now, I know you want to run away from counter information that is disconfirming of your narrative, but you still need to deal with the Gulf states, right? Qatar having declining birth rate. It's not feminism.
Is
it's
that a first world
modernization.
country you want to live in?
No, I want to live here, which has feminism and a booming GDP and one of the best countries on the earth. That's why I'm here.
Well, what are we going to do? Yeah, it's great. It's great right now, but your field of psychology that you got your degree in is so oversaturated. We have, and it's almost all women. It's like 88% women.
Not going to deal with the Gulfs, though. We're just going to run from that one. I'll just come back to it.
Yeah, I mean, psychology is such, and psychotherapy are such bullshit fields, and a large part of that is the feminization, because basically, psychology is a soft science for a reason, and it doesn't really use quantitative
Kirk,
rigorous methods.
I love that everyone probably watching this understands that this is a weird pivot that Rachel is doing, and you're like, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to go along with this unrelated pivot. Let's talk about that.
Because the point I'm making is that the connection to this to female psychology is that she's criticizing psychology and the feminization of it, as I understand her. And what I'm saying is the reason that psychology is so feminized is because it's such a soft science and it's not really quantitative.
That's not my point. My point is it's unrelated. It's an unrelated thing to what
you don't know about.
She brought it up though. It is related.
I know she brought it up as a fucking red herring that has nothing to do with what Kyla said, and you're like, you know what? Let's follow this red herring, and that's a crazy thing to do.
Either way, this nation comparing is a false equivalence. I don't see the correlation. She shouldn't have argued feminism is a problem in all countries. I mean, I really wouldn't even have gone there.
I mean, it just
introducing feminism to any country is going to cause problems within that country.
I agree.
I agree with that. It's just that it was a weird pivot that she did, and it's really unrelated because if she put out the fucking thing of saying that Qatar's birth rate is declining, how are you going to fix that? And what's weird is this, because Qatar is a Muslim country.
The views
Muslims
of these
right-wing
nut jobs are not mine, by the way.
There's a problem, and the problem is because they're killing
I'm surrounded by them right
That's
now.
the problem.
I think I'm the only person that is a semi-liberal.
I don't know if that's the reason for Qatari birth rates. It's not like our mortality rate thing.
Pretty sure they can
Testy with the $5. Thank you, Testy. He says, then why does Kirk trust the expertise of their therapist if the field is bullshit? I mean, that's a fair question.
Why do you trust your therapist, Kirk? You have a micro penis.
I don't know.
Hey, I don't have a micro penis.
I was gonna say, I think Kirk shouldn't be non-binary because he's got a huge pair of balls.
Oh, nice. What are you buying a suit for? You going to a wedding or something?
The shoes are coming for that next, okay? And his third
Dude, putting
circumcision
on a
is
nice
take
suit
off
that
everything.
fits you properly. Oh, dude, it feels great. I'm not gonna lie. Wearing a nice suit, have fun.
Sorry, Brandon, keep going.
Sorry. I was
Brandon, I take no responsibility for what's happened here. Okay, I take no responsibility.
Oh, I already said that to my chat. I am not responsible for anything that you guys say, and that it is me listening to it is not a affirmation of what you guys are saying. To be clear.
Okay, good. Yes, Brandon disavows
I made that clear.
everything.
Yeah.
But he does affirm everything that I say specifically.
Well, no, everything Big Soda says I agree with.
See.
In principle.
But everyone else, you're fucking wild cards. Y'all need to be banned, removed from society.
That's right.
Soto, when was the last time you got your penis tickled?
Oh my gosh! Please, God!
All right,
please.
video time.
Adderall.
Good one.
It doesn't address the problem that you have, which is
Oh, that's
the
going to be a nice suit. Are you
paradox
getting
of
it
pushing
tailored to
women
fit you?
into work and telling them to be career women
What's up,
like
Food
you,
Toy?
and
How
then
we
they
doing?
don't have children. How are you going
Get
to
that shit
perpetuate
tailored.
the next generation? Do you realize that the complex systems first world economies rely on can only suffer about a 5% loss of skilled male workers? And right now in this country and all across the West, we have all of the Gen X and Boomer men who know how to run complex water sewage treatment centers, keep the power grid up and running. Like, these are highly skilled things. You can't just get someone from Pakistan, put them in a 6-week course or whatever, and make them a power lineman. You can't do that. These men are not replaceable. We have to start having babies, or you're going to have short-term boom. That's what we've got now, at the expense of long-term stability. And it's not fear-mongering, it's math.
Fuck yeah,
The
dude.
World Health Organization, the UN,
Fucking
and
steal
Elon
the
Musk
bride
talk
while
about
you're
it
at
all
it.
the time. Like, hey, we're already seeing supply chain shortages. We're already seeing problems in keeping up the infrastructure. Trump ran on the fact that most Western nations, like including the US, have shit infrastructure. We have water lines in LA that are 100 years old, blowing up all over the place. What, 6 or 7 of them in the last 2 weeks?
Okay.
Hey.
6, 7.
All right.
We have to do like a
not
timer at this
replacing
point. I don't even.
So
If you want to, I
address
want to
the
talk to you.
demographic
And if we
cliff
want to
or
talk to each
none of
other,
this
we have to go
matters.
point by point. Like, if you
Lori, we'll
monologue
piggyback.
at me for 5 minutes straight with multiple points, they're all valid points, and I want to talk to you about all of them.
I just have one question.
I-
How
I-
are you going to solve the birth rate crisis?
Answer mine first. How
There's
do we do
no
that?
future without
How
more
do you
people.
how do you reconcile the fact that you're claiming in the 1970s feminism infused a bunch of women to the workplace, but we actually see the largest
Okay, I'll
boom
just
of women?
grant
Hold
it.
on, I'm not done.
I'll just
Nicole,
grant
I'm not
it.
done.
It
The
doesn't even
largest
matter for my argument.
the largest boom of women entering the workplace is right before the golden age of capitalism in America. Right? That's what we see when the American currency becomes the gold world reserve currency. So if you want to blame it at the 1970s, my question to you again is, what actually magically happened? Because based on all of the actual data, nothing transformative happened. Manufacturing was starting to die by the 1950s, right? We have the Triffin dilemma, which is a much better understanding of, if you don't know the word, just ask, just saying, okay? The Triffin dilemma is a huge issue.
Yeah,
that
she's
causes
definitely gonna
massive
ask after
trade
you say that.
deficits for America, and it causes an issue where people are always going to want to invest in America because, frankly, we're the best. We're the best at everything. So again, if you're going to say it's the 1970s,
I didn't. That's a straw
what-
man.
It's
My
not a straw man
argument-
to say
yes.
that you said the 1970s is when this
Finish,
took off, the she economy
and I'll
happened.
tell you, no.
It's not a straw
That was
man.
not in any way a pillar or linchpin of my argument.
So it's the 1950s?
No, birth rates have declined since industrialization.
You're
Since
right, like the 18...
It accelerated.
Wait,
It
isn't that like the 1870s?
Hey, can you pause it? Hey,
Yes, sir.
so I just looked this up. 1975, conservatives to liberal women, it was about 2.1 to 1.8 how many kids they had. And then if you go to the 1980s, it goes to liberal women dropped to 60% versus 65% conservative. But here's the crazy part. Now, liberal women are only producing 40%. 40% of them are producing kids, when conservative women are 71%. So maybe we can just breed out the libtards. Maybe that's how this will work.
How does that math work? Hold on. Liberal women have 40% of the kids, and then say it again.
No. Liberal women, of liberal women, only 40% are having children. Of
Oh, I see.
conservative women, 71% are having
Yeah,
children.
but isn't there a lot more liberal women than conservative women, like in total numbers?
Well, that would be the problem. So, like
Right.
mathematically,
So I think I don't
there
think
may
we're
be an
outbreeding
issue.
them still. Yeah.
No, but I mean, overall, I mean, it clearly, if you, I mean, it just, if you're pro-abortion, if you're pro, if you're pro all this, this, I mean, it's gotta tilt at some point, right?
I'm gonna start today. I'm gonna have 6 fucking kids just to up those numbers for the liberals.
I mean, I got fucking 4. I got 4 right now, so there we go. I got 4.
It is.
that means I
It
have to
is
make 10.
interesting.
Fuck.
It is interesting because Wilson's her math tracks.
Well, then
from
pull
the
your dick out and start
1960s.
fucking bitches. Pull your dick out and start fucking females, man.
Don't tell me what to do with my dick.
Quit hiding your fucking dick and pull your dick out.
His body is choice, Frankie.
Yeah, you
No,
fucking
no.
fucking pig.
Man, no, we men don't have consent. No, we men don't have consent apparently. So pull your fucking dick out. You don't have consent. You're doing it, and you're doing it.
I will do that right now if I can do it on Confluence's stream. That seems
Damn
fair.
right. Go to Pablo's street. Pull your dick out.
I have already.
Maybe you mean those 70s.
Okay, when she's done, then I'll talk.
All right. I do want to make sure there's not too much interrupting. So if you
Let's
want
do a
chance-
game. We both talk for 2 minutes at a time. We'll have timers.
This is the worst debate ever.
So fucking brutal.
Oh my
It's
God.
horrible, dude. It's miserable.
But like in each of their heads, they think they won in each of their heads. It's like, oh my god, I won. Oh my god, I won. It's like
What's worse is that
nobody
each of their audience thinks they probably won. That's
Yeah,
the
it's
worst
like
part of
no-
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem is this helps nobody. This shit helps nobody. Okay? Like does feminism, does women wanting to go to fucking work like what's the bitch's name in the red?
Kyla.
Tyler, whatever
Hey,
the
she's
fucking
not a
name is.
bitch, dude. Come on, she's a woman.
What, she's a slut. Okay, cool. Like
Damn.
fucking
Damn. All right.
like if she gets a fucking job, like who does that hurt? And who does that hurt? Does that hurt you? Does it hurt me? No. Does that fucking, it's going to cause the destruction in the United States? No. Like, there's worse things that's going to destroy the United States than fucking women going to a fucking job, dude. Like, I don't fucking get it.
Her
It's a web of
particular job
concepts.
is manipulating a whole group.
First debate where both sides
generation
lose.
of
Isn't that
women,
crazy?
So I could
I didn't
argue
think that was
that point.
possible.
Like manipulate. Okay, so her actual job is to manipulate women. It's a what?
Just to reiterate everything said by
into
these
being a libtard.
lunatics, I do not
I mean,
agree
okay,
with.
look, if bitches are too dumb to
See what
understand
I mean?
what real
Like that.
reality is, then why
Crazy.
the fuck should they have any input? They should just be fuck toys, and that's it.
See,
They
like
should-
what the
most
fuck?
Oh my god.
Most fucking libtarded women are. They're fuck toys.
Y'all
Because,
got to
like, they
settle down a
really-
little bit.
Yeah, let's
Am I
fucking.
right or am I wrong?
I'm going to write you in for president, dude.
Like, am I right or am I fucking wrong though?
Oh, you're probably wrong, but I'm still going to vote for you.
Like how am I wrong?
It's like most elections.
For example, that one bitch, Kylie, whatever the fuck her name is. Like, I guarantee you, she's not fucking smart. She's just saying smart shit, and I
It's
guarantee.
brutal,
she's a
Testy. What the
fuckboy in
fuck is
background.
this? Frankie's
So, like,
insane. He's an insane
ugh.
person.
You know what I'm saying?
Great, yeah, great criticisms, Frankie.
I appreciate.
I don't even want to
that,
comment. I'm just
but
going to play the
I'm okay
video.
with keeping it
Fucking
organic
hell.
as long as there's not too much interrupting.
Mrs. Turner, is it my turn to
Well,
speak? Can I talk, teacher, please?
As a because you're the
Going
only
to
person actually
fucking
being sane right
kill
now. If
someone
7 minutes
in a
straight
video
of
game.
compliance-
I have
Sure. I
We'll
just
do
want to
2
let's go
minutes.
point by point.
All right, you guys agree on that?
However
That's
this debate ends, I'm going to take it out of my
Alright.
family.
You guys
Also,
both
you're
are
welcome-
2
you're
minutes.
welcome
Like, yeah, when
I'm
this
setting
debate
a
ends, I'm
timer.
gonna
Give me one
fucking
second.
like.
And
I'm gonna watch a femboy
Rachel, you
do
wanna
some
go
weird
first?
shit.
Sure.
Okay.
So
I think you were
the
gonna do
whole
that either way.
You're totally fighting a straw man. You completely made up this idea that my whole argument rests on something fundamental changing in the 70s. I'll just grant everything you said. Agrippa's trilemma,
Oh my
whatever.
God,
Thank you,
want.
Testy. Fucking hell.
Oh,
Birth
Agrippa's
rates have
trilemma
been on the
mentioned.
decline since industrialization. I didn't say that no women ever worked before the 70s. I said that's the point where it really accelerated and took off and became mainstream, totally socially acceptable, the norm. Now, if you're a stay-at-home mom, that's the weird, creepy thing. That's when that changed. Doesn't matter. It started in the 1800s with industrialization, urbanization, and women going to work. Yes, that's when the birth rates began to decline. And the sexual
God.
liberation stuff,
It's
whether
factual.
it's no-fault divorce,
Okay, yeah, but
birth
all right,
control
hold on.
pills, abortion.
Hold on.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
You know what was the cause of the birth decline in China? The one-child policy. It wasn't women going to work. It was you can only have one kid.
Wait,
And then what happened? More
did
boys.
she bring up China again?
No, she didn't. No, she didn't bring up
Okay.
China. But hold on, I'm making a point. You fuck.
Talking about America right now.
Yeah. But I'm making a point.
This
you
is
fuck.
America.
Confluence, you're in fucking Canada. You're in the 51st state. Don't want to fucking hear it.
Out there and me with a good time.
All right, but it's like fucking
We're
hell.
good. Can I play the video?
Is it really that detrimental that a fucking female is going to fucking work?
Yes.
Probably not in a lot of cases.
No, like for example,
No.
like if a
No, it's a problem because if they make it out
It's
to
a
be
problem
like
that they fucking
a
work.
female has to work,
What's the issue?
should work, ought to work, then the banks ought to charge more for their houses, and nobody can do a single family income. So even the ones
That's
that are,
true. That is true.
and even the ones that
Okay,
are
that is
conservative,
true.
even the ones that are conservative, that desire to have the life that they want to live.
I did I spoke to Kyla about Agrippa's trilemma because I do think she's confused about it. And it sounds like she's still confused about it. It sounds like she didn't take any of the information that I gave her, or this one other dude that talked to her after our conversation. His name is Ask Yourself. It doesn't seem like she took any of that information from people that have thought about these things. No, not that she hasn't, but like, we're not politics people. Like, we're more so philosophy people, and we've tried to talk to her about this, but it sounds like she's kind of later on in the debate, it gets brought up again, of course, and it sounds like she still has the same misunderstanding that I was trying to point out to her.
where you guys?
Sorry, I had to.
I'm
I
trying
was
to
talking
get
in
her.
chat. I had
Hey,
to
I'm
deafen.
gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna let y'all go, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right,
See you, Frankie.
peace.
Hey, sir.
You know, I've been trying to get Def Knot onto the show, and I feel like after Frankie's stuff, if she's still watching you, Brandon, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
Oh, she's still in the chat. Yeah, she's not coming on your
Fuck.
panel ever. I don't blame her.
Damn it.
Only that thought that words would prevent her from, engaging in debate with people who aren't even using the words. That's kind of silly.
Yeah, well, maybe I should be there. I'll like be the semi-normal person. That way, she feels kind of normal.
Well, it's like
It
nobody
definitely
actually
couldn't be an
debates
open
Frank.
panel. That's for damn sure.
The overall thing, and the only thing that matters in this argument, is what are we going to do about demographics? Because it doesn't matter what they're doing in Saudi Arabia. It doesn't matter when the gold standard happened. It doesn't matter when
Finally.
or how women got into the workforce. We are now in a position where all Western nations are in the exact same boat, that when you shove all the women into the workforce and tell them this is what you need to be doing and focusing on, and you need a 2-income household now to survive, no one has babies.
You're number one.
Do you think that that's not going to be a problem?
I think that I think that we absolutely
Kick
need
it
to
over to
incentivize.
Kyla. Just to be clear, I'm going to give you full 2 minutes. If you want to use all of it, you can. Otherwise, you can kick it back.
Well, Confluence was
Here's what I'll
saying
say.
that he
Let's
wants you to
just
come on
talk.
one of his
If I
panels,
start
but
listing off like a
after
bunch of points,
hearing
just interrupt me.
the
It's pretty
sorts
simple.
of people that he
I don't know,
has
guys. I know conversations are hard.
come
for,
on
like,
his
the autism
panel,
in the room, but
he's
that's
thinking that
not
you
good.
probably won't
back.
now.
It was
But that's
your
that
idea
was
to
basically
do
it.
the
He was
2
just
minutes.
saying
Let's try.
he wants you to come
I'll
on his
take
panel
2
at some
minutes
point.
precisely. Sure, we can do that. It's just gonna be a terrible conversation.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, like, Rachel took 1:40 or so, and then she let you go for your 2 minutes. If you want to use a minute,
I want 10 seconds. Okay?
Let's meta conversate some more, I
but I'm
think.
going
the
to
right
That's
give
what
it
I
over to
want.
Rachel to use 2 minutes.
You just said industrialization is when women started going to work. That's
Oh,
false.
10 seconds is over.
Industrialization is women stopped going to work. That's when women workforce participation declined in the 1800s.
What? Okay, so
Hard for your narrative.
it's no. When you talk about
Oh,
women
because
working, nobody
didn't-
thinks
he didn't
that working
release
on
that
your
video with
family
her,
farm or in your
I guess.
family business with
Yeah,
your husband and your
exactly.
dad and everyone.
She didn't want
Nobody
it to
thinks-
be
when we say women
released,
going
but
to work, we're talking
from
about
when I spoke to
dad
Ask
leaves
Yourself,
the
he
house
said
in
it
the
was a
morning,
cordial
goes to his place of
conversation, so it
business,
wasn't like
mom leaves her
spicy or
house in the
anything.
morning,
But
goes to her
I
place
guess
of
she
business,
didn't
and the
care
kids
for it to
get
be
sent to
uploaded.
daycare or
I
public
think he
school.
did record it though. I
That's
could be
new.
wrong.
That's post-industrial. Nobody thinks that
Because I asked him, I was
agrarian
like, "Did you record that? I want to see how that
pre-industrial
went. I want to see
society
how
where
he
you're
approached
working
it
the farm
differently
fed with
than
your
I
husband
did."
is women going to work. They were having 7 babies on average before industrialization per woman. That was fine. Even post-industrialization could have been possibly sustainable had we not introduced sexual liberation, sending women to college, delaying the first birth until you're 31. That is doom. It's demographic doom, and you don't have a way out of it, and you don't have an answer for it, which is why you want to talk about anything else.
Speaking of wanting to talk about anything else, still haven't gotten an answer to the 1970s question, which again,
I granted it.
You can laugh.
I granted it.
It is a hinge point of your narrative.
It's not.
It
I
is.
granted it.
I
You're
asked you when.
completely
I
right.
asked you
You're
when.
completely right about the 70s. I'm just going to grant that you get the whole kit and caboodle, full point for you. Now, what are you going to do about
I think that's
demographics?
exactly what they
Just so the
talked
speakers
about
can be heard,
because
I do need you to keep it
they were
quiet in
talking
the
about
audience.
Agrippa's trilemma like me and her did.
notsoErudite,
And then
you
I
have
think he
2
was
minutes if you
explaining
wanna use it.
contextualism to her.
Otherwise, we kick it back to Rachel for 2
And that's part of the reason I wanted to see it. I wanted to see how she,
So the Gulf
what she
states-
thought
so
about
the
that
reason why your
view of
action
justification.
isn't relative at all is because it's bad for your narrative, right? For example, Japan. Do you think that Japan was like a highly feminist country?
Yes, it's highly modern and industrial.
Post
and women are
1970s?
Women are absolutely expected to work in Japan.
Post 1970s specifically is when that feminist infusion really came out.
I don't know. I'm
Got-
not, su-
gotta
I'm not
pick a
sure.
date. If your
I'm
whole
not sure
narrative-
exact
if your
timeline
whole-
in Japan.
If
So
we wanna
doesn't
stick-
matter to my argument at all.
If we want to stick with 2
Completely
minutes.
If your entire narrative,
If you're Kyla, if you're asking,
This is so cooked.
she needs 2 minutes per question.
and we're only 45 minutes in. That's what's crazy.
How
She
long
really-
is it?
It's like 2
She really
hours. You
made
want
a
to skip?
mistake.
You guys want to
Oh
skip to
my
the Q&A?
god. Jesus, how does this go on for another fucking hell?
I don't know. Do you want to skip
That's
to the
crazy.
Q&A? The Q&A is pretty funny. They really talk shit to each other there. It's
Sure,
a lot
yeah,
of dopamine.
let's hear it.
Okay, all right.
Especially
Pump into my veins, Brandon.
Fuck yeah.
Look, everyone's
I
getting
have a
the fuck out of there.
I guess on the planet or the.
for you.
My question is for you.
I have a name.
What's that?
I'm just kidding.
Kyla.
Yeah, hi,
All
sir.
right.
What's your name?
John.
Hi, John. Nice to meet you.
I heard somewhere that the 3 most influential things, I guess, on the planet are the nuclear bomb, the transistor, and birth control, right? I don't know if that's true, but it sounds right to me.
Okay.
If you could remove one of those, you can't remove the first 2. The third one is something you could do about, and to me, that sounds like that's under feminism. Can you at least acknowledge feminism as at least part of the problem? And if we eliminated that part, would that not help everything?
I don't remember
That's
going to
unique.
this.
That's a
Holy
unique tack.
fuck, Brandon.
Right.
If
This is
you're
me in 10
conservative,
years.
This is what you would look like.
So feminism is part of the problem and it's part of the solution to a lot of issues, right? Society isn't just like a simple thing, right? Pakistan is a really good example of a country with exploding
That's exactly
birth
what it
rates.
was.
They really solved
Everybody
that
went up
issue,
there
but their
just to
economy
try
is
to get a
struggling and they
clip
keep on getting
from Kyla.
punctured by
It's pretty
India in
crazy.
war, right? Pakistan is a
And when
great
I had my
example of why
conversation with her,
in
I
a
think she felt
country,
like I was
lots
trying to
of
do
things
that.
matter all at
Because
once. What you're calling contraception.
The next
is not
person she
bad
spoke to, she said
for
she thought I was like
It's
bad
probably
faith
a
and stuff.
bit of
It kind of
both,
pissed me
right?
off.
But what it
like,
really
kinda-
is
what are you
pharmaceutical
gonna do?
companies making money from a technology that's utile, right? So the issue is you're pointing at one of the technologies as being like useless and we don't need it. However, I don't even know how we begin to make that argument because we do need women in the workplace and giving them more control of their family planning has allowed women to massively excel in workplaces and achieve higher levels of education and productive output than ever before.
Hey,
I know you can't
James,
respond, sorry.
just a quick note on that. The reason that Pakistan's economy sucks so bad, even though the birth rate is high, is because they are a Muslim nation with the
Yep.
highest rate of inbreeding in the world.
Oh, I forgot brown people. How did I not think
No.
of that?
Are you going to sit here and say that,
All right,
that
Inbreeding
lowered IQ from
brown
inbreeding is
people.
not a serious factor in
It's
their
a huge,
economics?
it's a huge issue within Pakistan. The issue is that if your birth rate dream was so awesome, their birth rate is like
Well, you don't have to
7.1.
marry your cousin.
Well,
hate
you
to do
kind
this.
of sure.
I'm not
sure.
saying
We do
marry
have to
your
go to the next
cousin.
question.
Rachel, I know disconfirming evidence sucks for you, but you actually
No,
have to
I
deal with
just
it and
blew
not
you
just go,
out.
ma, brown people.
You
have
just
to go to the
sat here
next
and said
question.
my birth
Is-
rate is not always
we
so
do
good.
have
It's
to
like,
keep it
no,
moving.
you're
We do have to
It's almost
keep
like
moving.
countries that
All
only
right.
invest in
The whole
birth rate
reason
and don't
they
invest
James
in
is
GDP.
big
and
for his
can be
life right
higher.
now.
IQ
Kyle and
cousin-
Rachel.
Yes,
Throw a bucket of
countries
water
that
on
control
them.
women
We do
and
have to
don't
go
let them in
into
the
the
workplace
Q&A.
and don't allow them any
There are more
autonomy
people.
are
There are more people
shitholes.
wanting to ask their
True.
questions. All right,
That's Islam.
all right. Next up.
It's like that after every question. I swear to God, it's great.
Boy, look at that nose.
Easy.
Kyle,
I need folks just so they
This
can.
guy looks like Justin Gaethje.
You mentioned
It kinda
Saudi
does.
Arabia and
Little-
Qatar,
little
but from
smaller, but-
1960 to today,
Sure.
Saudi Arabia's female participation rate went from 15% to over 35%, and they've delayed the time to have a first child to almost age 27. How does that not make Rachel's point?
Because again, I don't think I would look at Saudi Arabia as a bastion of it. In fact, Saudi Arabia, a close ally
Keep
of
bringing it
America,
up.
is letting women who are very educated in Saudi Arabia, for example, participate in their workforce because it's useful for them. That's why they're letting them do it. They're, by the way, still cutting off clits, so not exactly a feminist bastion.
I mean, it makes her point, though.
It doesn't make her point, because if the point is feminism is causing this problem, it's actually modernization that's
They
causing this
more
problem.
than doubled their female workforce.
I do wanna move
and
to
they're
the next
educating
Oh, Andrew
women and
definitely
pushing them.
really
Look, if you wanna
sparked
take
the
claim that
ortho
Saudi
bro sort of
Arabia is a
movement.
famous
Jay
feminist
Dyer
bastion,
was.
you can take
He
it.
was
I
still
just
a.
think it's absurd on
He was still known,
Why
but
are
he
you so
was kind of
angry?
like
We're gonna go to the
smaller
next
until
one. I'm not
Andrew
angry.
came in
I'm
and
not
really
angry.
started to pick it up, and then
I got a
Everyone's-
cute outfit on.
that's
I
fine.
feel like
they heard
right.
Andrew
We're gonna go to
talking
the
about
next
Jay
question.
Dyer, and then they became
sir.
obsessed with Jay Dyer.
So I wanted to
Yeah,
ask
it's
you
really
about
Not
bad.
as cute as that white outfit.
Nobody in the
So-
philosophy
so-
community
so
takes them
started
serious,
human
by the way.
resources, you said in the 1910s. So
I
like
believe it was 1910
1913.
that the Ford industry
In
did, yeah.
1916, he was sued by the Dodge brothers for
True.
improperly investing and not protecting shareholders, and lost that case. So wouldn't that kind of show that Henry Ford was not a good actor in the corporate space?
I don't know much about the case, but were they sued over HR?
They were
By the way,
sued
Henry
over
Ford did raise
wages and
his
improper
workers'
investments,
HR?
using dividends to pay for HR.
That's a big stretch there, sir. So was it HR that they were sued over, or was he doing fraudulent behavior? Sounds like the fraud might have been a bit more of a spicy problem. Okay.
Okay, she kind of mogged there.
Hi, Kyla. Hi,
She kind of mogged there, right?
Appreciate
Mogged
the
a little
debate
bit.
tonight. Juicy, as James would say. My question is for you, Rachel. You and Andrew sometimes deal with this idea that like guns are an equalizer, as in they can sort of minimize the distance between men and women in terms of the physical force they can exert.
Right.
And I know you
Guns
have
against
problems with
equals
that
are
argument, but I can
expanded
pretty
forces
easily
for
imagine a
women.
future where a
Yeah,
technology that's
it's
a
bad.
true
That's
equalizer,
true.
like maybe gene editing is just one example, could just be a reality not so far from now.
That or a lot of them
So
are
I just
becoming
wanted to
content
ask,
creators
what does that
themselves, so
world
they're
look
looking
like
for
to
a
you?
quick
And
clip
in a way, does
to
it make
post on
kind of
their
an
smaller
egalitarian
channel,
philosophy or fact of life inevitable?
which isn't
Does the
necessarily
gene
bad,
editing you're
right?
talking about make it so that men
Like
can
if you're
have
doing
babies?
it in,
Probably not for a while.
I don't know how
Probably
you
not
do it
for
in a
long
good
time.
faith way,
Then
but
I
there
would
probably
say
is a
no.
way to do it in like a good faith
Will
way.
it make it so that we have women that are the same rough size and strength as men? Because if it basically, unless you're going to turn
Rachel,
women
famous
into men, then
biologist
no.
here, by the way, knows a lot about CRISPR, I'm sure. Did you know that that's what the technology is called, by the way? It's CRISPR. Yeah.
Thanks,
Fucking
Mrs.
pop
Turner.
quiz Kyla. Fucking,
Baby girl, you're gonna love when I go through
fucking
your book.
Rachel.
I love when she educates
I mean,
me.
Right.
you don't have to
You would
know
never do that.
Hypatia. Who's Hypatia,
You don't have
by
to
the
know
way?
almost anything about biology to know that it's very hard to gene edit such that men could give birth. You don't have to know almost anything about biology to make that knowledge claim.
I mean, that's true.
Look,
That's why I don't like
can
these
hear
people who say, "Oh, you
you're
have to be an
like
expert in this or an
math
expert in
and
that."
I can't right now.
I'm-
I would
We're
like
gonna
to
go-
get
if
to
You
the
mean like
point.
what you
like
did to Brandon
insulting me,
about
Rachel, but
AI?
first of all,
Not
between me
Shut
and
up,
you,
sir.
All right.
I'm mugging
True section. Thank you.
you
Right.
every
To the
single day.
We're gonna
But
move.
second
We're gonna
of
move
all,
to the next
who's
question.
Hypatia?
Tyriak.
Yeah, you don't want to answer,
What's
do
great.
you?
Yeah, so Kyla, I was wondering, like, what is the proposed solution from feminism? Because in terms of Rachel's proposed
Can you say that
solution,
again? Sorry.
What is the proposed solution?
Can't understand a fucking word he's saying.
It's Bricky.
No, it's fucking Teriak, dude.
Ariac, not Bricky.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just making a joke. I didn't know someone known.
Yeah.
That's
We're
hilarious.
going to get at least 1 million lives back into
A million
the economy
lives.
for workers and all that stuff. This is what Rachel's talking about with the mathematics. We get rid of elective abortion. That's one more.
Really, if you don't
1
speak
1
American,
million
you
lives
shouldn't be
each
invited.
year coming into America.
Yeah, a lot of those.
What's
So
happening?
getting
Ironically,
rid
I
of the
agree with
abortion
him.
also means that you're going to have a
True.
massive amount of those lives going on the
True
welfare
facts.
state, which I think you guys don't like. Actually,
It's still more
the
people.
solution for birthright that I've offered a number of times is we need modernization solutions. So probably tax credits, making it affordable to have children, making it easier for moms to stay home or work at home and be economically successful. There's a lot of things that we need to try. It's not really a simple solution because it's not a simple problem anymore with modern technology. But we should try things, and we haven't really tried enough things, and we should.
Yeah, so 1 million lives a year. is not worth buying an elective abortion, is what
Much
you're saying.
bigger tax base to help fund those social safety nets.
Again, unless they're on welfare, which you would assume that they're going to be if they're being
No,
born to
you would
single
not
mothers.
assume that they're all going to grow up and be on welfare.
I wouldn't
Absolutely
assume
not.
all of them, but I would guess that it would probably be 20 to 30% of them
Damn, they
because
need to
probably
tell
the
these
women
people to
most
sit
likely to
down.
seek abortions
Why-
are
who
going to
the
be
fuck
with
for
women in
locking them
situations where they become single mothers. And so
Yeah, I
those
know,
children
right?
are going to be on welfare, which is going to be
Oh, hey,
costing
Alex.
tax receipts. So I guess your system, not so
Hey,
great.
what's up?
It feels really great when you chat GPT
All
your
right,
numbers. When you
we're gonna
actually
jump
get real about
into the
economics,
next
it
question.
kind of falls apart.
We're jumping to the next question.
I'm sure if you talk faster and say more, everyone will think you won.
I'm sure that if you're just bitchy
We're
and
gonna go-
rude, everyone will
we're
think you're
gonna go
funny.
to James. We're going to go to James.
The level
right,
of
so my
cattiness
question-
After every
is fucking
question, dude.
ridiculous.
It is. It is ridiculous. It's great.
For Kyla, so if greater, it's based off something
Holy
you said in your
shit!
opening. If greater
I know
reproductive
this guy.
autonomy
This is
predictably
Steelman?
results in more murder.
Yep, that's Steelman.
What's the benefit
No,
of
you
that
dumbass, you
autonomy
apparently don't know.
that is justifying?
I don't know his
fucking-
name.
I mean, he
That's
does have a
Futoy.
mushroom on the back of his head, it looks like, but
That's
Man,
what
Speakeasy
Futoy
looks
looks like.
so different, like standing up, than I would have expected. That's crazy.
what is that on the back
Wait,
of his
is-
head? I have to know.
Is this Steelman actually?
No, it's
For real?
It's
Speakeasy.
Speakeasy.
Speakeasy. Okay, sorry. No, wait, hold on. I debated Steelman on Speakeasy.
You debated Steelborn on Speakeasy.
Okay, sorry. I'm three-person maze. I'm trying to find my way out of the maze. Okay, I'm reading Don Quixote. I'm distracted.
That's how beneath
Easy's
those
got
people
drip
are.
though. Brandon,
okay.
can we agree on that? Easy's got fucking drip. I don't care what anyone says. I
Oh
don't care what
yeah.
anyone says.
Oh yeah. Dude's got motion.
Yeah.
Does Speakeasy still come on your panels? By the way, he hasn't. I haven't seen him in a while. Confluence?
I think he walked away. I hear him in the background.
Or he heard you speak. And
He has. I mean, obviously not since DebateCon. They rated me on one of the days of his DebateCon, and I ended the stream like 10 seconds later without realizing it, which is unfortunate.
The outcome.
I don't think anywhere in my opening I talk about reproductive autonomy.
Greater.
We're going to go to James.
All right, so my question's for Kyla. So if greater, it's based off something you said in your opening. If greater reproductive autonomy predictably results in more murdered babies, what's the benefit of that autonomy that
It was
is
her opening.
justifying the outcome?
I don't think anywhere in my opening I talk about reproductive autonomy. Like that was her.
No, you said that
You
it's
said the
better if women have
predictability.
control over their
You said these things were
reproduction, they can-
predictabilities when you were
Do you
talking
think
about
reproductive autonomy just means abortion?
it results. Are you going to
Are you gonna
answer
answer
my
my
question? Or are
question?
you asking me questions?
Yeah, I'm following
All right,
up because
so
you're talking about
you
reproductive
want to answer
autonomy.
the question or no?
Do you want to know anything that you're talking about? What's reproductive
This
autonomy?
is that
I mean, Kyla,
likability
she
problem
just
Andrew was
said
talking
fucking
about.
basic
Yeah,
bullshit. I
there's
mean,
one thing.
she's being asked a direct question, and she just keeps baiting and I don't know. This is really bad faith on her end.
Kirk, have you never met
Yeah,
a
she
woman?
should answer directly. That's right.
I mean, she should answer every question directly. True. I think
The only
everyone
woman
should.
Kirk's ever met is his stepmom.
Yeah, your stepmom should do
Is it
this.
Stacy?
Kirk.
Is her
You
name
should
It's the
know
main
this.
woman I see every day too, so I mean that's kind of fair.
Well, I don't have stepmom, so it doesn't make sense.
I don't know who I'm banging then, Kirk. I don't know. Sorry. Keep going, Brandon.
All right. Let's bring it
What in a room full of Rachel
right.
fans? They like
Can
you
you-
more? That's crazy.
Can
You know, it
can you
helps your
just
arguments if you're
hold
not
on.
insufferable.
All right. Sorry to
I
do
would.
this.
It's
but I do have to-
actually
I do
being
have to-
insufferable is good
All
for
right.
your
Sorry to do
arguments,
this.
actually.
Please,
Just to
let me
get through,
talk.
just to
No,
get through
everybody
people's
likes
questions.
me.
That's
Just to
not
get through.
true.
I'm very popular.
Just to get
and
through people's
well-liked.
questions. Can you restate your question in a somewhat rephrase?
Do you want to just talk about abortion? Sounds like you want to talk about abortion.
Okay, do you want to
Relax
answer
here.
my
Keyboard
question
warrior
or do you want to
first.
ask me questions again?
Okay.
If greater reproductive autonomy results in more murdered babies, what's the benefit of that autonomy that justifies that outcome?
The benefit of more reproductive autonomy for women is that they're able to better control family planning, which allows them to do things like investing in a career and investing in better marriage status, which is why college women, by the way, have the happiest education. So reproductive autonomy allows them to decide when they go to college because they can offset having children, which is good. It also results in things like abortion, which I agree, it would be great to get those numbers down, but that's why it's valuable, because it does more than just one thing.
Again, that what you just said is okay. Is
Oh, get out of here.
as
You're
a
not even keeping
benefit.
up. Get out.
We're gonna go to the next question. Okay. All right.
Your mom's super proud of you, though. Proud of her. Well, probably not, actually.
Jesus.
This is a PR
Jesus,
disaster.
wow.
All right, we're gonna go to the next question.
You are not
All
going to
right,
recover.
we're gonna go to the
It's
next
not.
question.
I can assure you.
Who would invite
Here we
you
go.
to an event
What was-
after the way?
She probably should have pointed out that she doesn't think abortion is murder, though, because it sounds like what she's saying.
She
and-
does. I think she does to an extent.
oh yeah, because yeah, I think you're right. I think she just thinks ensoulment or whatever doesn't happen at
Yeah.
conception.
Later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, true.
Because she's still like a Christian, quote unquote.
You know, quote unquote,
Which the
kind of
Catholic
like you,
Church
right?
believed till like.
You're a
How dare you, Brandon.
you're a Christian too, quote unquote.
Wait, is she
All right,
Protestant
we're gonna-
or Catholic?
Protestant.
I think she's
Oh.
Protestant.
The dirtiest of, like, way dirtier than you and me, Big
Of
Soda.
course she's Protestant. Like Catholics and Orthodox are super anti-abortion.
Well, not necessarily. No, it seems like Catholics are starting to shift toward an acceptance of abortion. Orthodox, they seem to be advocate against abortion, but Catholics, they're coming a little bit around to it.
That's where Kyla even gets her talking points from with the whole ensoulment thing. Is she'll point to like different like.
I think
church
you're right. I don't
stuff
think
from the
it's
Catholic
always
Church
like
that, will
intentional
talk
either.
about
I
that
think it's
stuff,
just
so
kind of how she talks.
I'm worried they're headed in that direction.
That makes
Eventually.
it sound that way.
Protestants,
Well, they're not gonna talk about
they believe whatever they interpret.
And she understands that she's an entertainer, so yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Go with
Like,
Jonathan's
honestly,
question.
you believe.
We do have to go to the question. Jonathan has
Like
a
if you
question.
were my
All
daughter,
right,
I'd be
I hate
hauling
to
you out of
interrupt
here by
guys.
your ear to
And
give
if
you
you were
a
my
talk
mom, I'd have a lot more
about
drama.
your
Yeah,
behavior.
I know.
We're gonna jump to the next question. Come on,
Well, your mama
Jonathan.
should've.
All right, folks, I do need you. Do us a favor if you can keep it
Such
down just so we can hear the
nonsense.
speakers
great,
and the
right?
question asker. All right, Jonathan, go ahead.
So, what is the biggest roadblock to abortion, Rachel?
What is the biggest roadblock
To abolishing abortion?
to abolishing it?
Yes. So there's no more abortion ever.
Women voting for it.
There you go. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that? I mean, that might be true. No, that
you
I'm
guys
thinking about it.
talked today about about how men work and why they don't
It's not just
spend
women,
time with
but-
their children. But feminists constantly run away from the issue that men are treated unfairly in family courts, and that here in Dallas, 95% of the time custody is awarded to women, and they take those children and they abuse men and take our children away from us in family courts. So what is feminism going to come to the table and make 50-50 shared custody the standard
It's crazy,
bills,
Testy.
and stop
It's
voting
the
to take
Crucible
away our
Con.
children
It's
from
not
us all
Debate
the
Con.
time?
It's Crucible
Yeah, so
Con,
I'm guessing
dude.
that you're not particularly familiar with my work, right? Not everything that feminists do I think is good. I actually think that what you're highlighting here is a really big issue, which is why
Oh,
when
did I miss
started
it?
my
A
work in
violence
debate, I was
suggestion?
in men's spaces advocating for male issues. Family court planning
Was it
and,
one
for
of the-
example, things like financial abortion
one
are
of the people
rights that
asking
men don't have
questions?
access
Did
to
I
that
miss it
creates
too?
an unequal rights. And I think that that's an issue that we have to address. And I think the fact that fathers are assumed de facto to not be a good caregiver and therefore they get limited access to their children is a fucking tragedy. I totally agree with you.
All right.
All right. All right.
Not at all.
Fuck you, Alex.
Kyla,
Hi.
you
Fuck
said
you
something
too,
I really
man.
liked. My name's Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Fucking
You said something
Alex,
profound.
did
One of
your
the best
dick get
things I
soft
heard
when
all
we were
night.
watching them two argue?
And I want to
Who are
acknowledge
you?
it. And you stated what you invest in early
The
in
one
life
bitch
yields
and
the best
Andrew
returns.
Wilson's wife, the blonde lady.
Is it your position that
Oh,
women should not invest in their
does it get
families when
soft?
young?
I mean,
Are those
wasn't hard
returns
to
not
begin
as
with,
valuable
so I
as
don't
serving
know.
a corporation
So, like,
or
what,
being
your
a
dick didn't
boss
move or
babe
anything?
that can
Frankie, I'm
get
trying to hear the
fired
question.
when the boss's nephew needs a hobby?
Fuck,
not hear what he said.
I keep having to unmute myself on Discord too. Did you want me to rewind that? So you can hear
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can. Frankie was asking his usual penile questions.
And one of the best
okay.
things I heard.
That's
Hi,
Frankie.
Chris.
You said something profound. One of the best things I heard all night, actually. And I want to acknowledge it. And you stated what you invest in early in life yields the best returns. Is it your
Oh
position
yeah,
that
she was
women
saying.
should
Yeah,
not
she was
invest in
saying
their
if you were
families
my
when
daughter, I would grab you by
Are
the
those
ear and
returns
drag you
not
out
as
of here
valuable
with
as
how
serving a
with how you're
corporation
how you've been
or
acting,
being a
something
boss
like that.
babe that can get fired when the boss's
Based
nephew needs a
questioner,
hobby?
based.
I still didn't hear the
That's why
question.
he walked away.
That's okay.
I was like, wow, why do you walk away after asking
Yeah.
it?
So I think what I've pretty clearly advocated for multiple times is that I want women to be able to have the option to do both, right? I've said this numerous times, and increasing technology is allowing that sort of thing, right? When I was talking in that context, that was good. That was a smart one. You're quick at that. What I was actually talking about when I said the word returns was an economic label, right? So you can like switch the definition to a different thing. But I agree that there's a tragedy that's happened where families, not just young women, but young families don't feel like they can invest in children because it's so expensive and they can't be good stewards of their future things. The reason that parents are delaying isn't because they don't think children aren't beautiful. What they're delaying for specifically is because they know that if they don't have a stable economic thing to rear their children in, they're not being good parents. And I think it's a tragedy that you're gonna yell, hold on, don't yell at me yet.
All right,
I think
folks.
that's a tragedy, but actually engage with my words and the ideas that I'm talking about.
All right, we're gonna go to the next question.
Thanks, both of you, for coming. Taylor here. To me, it seems modern feminism is antithetical to a biblical worldview. From your earlier debate with Andrew, which I listened to, it appears you keep a fairly sharp separation between your private faith and how you would integrate that with politics, et cetera. My question is this: do you believe the Bible affirms the equal ontological value of men and women while also establishing a specific order of responsibility, God, man, wife, children, for example? If so, isn't this consistent to hold that a society could still follow that biblical order with men as the primary heads of voting, repeal the 19th, public life, primary breadwinner, while fully affirming women's equal value ontologically and encouraging distinct roles? This was the arrangement before the boom of feminism and seemed to
Hurry up, dude.
sustain a strong society. And why wouldn't that be a good solution, even though it does seem far-fetched?
Okay, do you want...
Longest fucking question of my life. God damn. I was fucking raging waiting for him to get to the end of that. Fucking hell.
Do you want to tackle the theological question or the like policy question first? Because there's kind of two baked in there.
Yeah, whichever you address first.
Okay, sure. So when it comes to like a theological question, I think one of the most important things that we need to recognize from the Bible, and most of you are going to disagree with me on this, is that it is not a prescription for statehood. In fact, it's a strong resistance to that, right? Jesus, for example, was quite resistant to being named as the Messiah and King and creating a kingdom of Israel.
This is the Protestant. This is the Protestant lie.
You might
Is that
theologically disagree with me, but when I look at these things,
the
as
idea
far
that you can interpret Jesus and Jesus was a hippie and all this, like all of this is downstream from the Lutheran idea of sola scriptura, that you have the scripture, you can interpret it, and you might go by the Council of Nicaea, but the fact of the matter is, at least Catholics and Orthodox recognize the importance of actually interpreting it in line with historical tradition.
Well, I could contest to that. I want to contest.
Not what sola scriptura means, but that's fine.
Yes, it is what sola scriptura. So sola scriptura means that you don't.
No, Kirk, you're straw manning Protestants. Don't even try it. That's some dumbass.
No, hold on. I want to contest that shit. I want to contest it, like, because I think Kirk is wrong. Because I'm a Baptist. So those who know me, they know I'm a Latin Southern Baptist. We see Christ as a warrior, not as a hippie. And Martin Luther saw the idiocy and the fallacy of the Catholic Church and of the Orthodox Church on only having the priesthood understanding the Bible and interpreting the Bible to the others. When he says, no, you can read the Bible for yourself and interpret it for yourself. So
Luther never wanted to disband the Catholic Church. He never even wanted to leave the Catholic Church. He just wanted them to stop. He just wanted to stop them from abusing poor people and misleading them with different doctrine, like indulgences.
Sounds like cope.
No, it isn't a cope. It's a fact.
It sounds like history.
Anyway, the whole point is that once people did start reading the Bible, they realized how much the church was abusing the narrative. So the idea that it's all because of Protestants, I'll give you the fact that if Protestants are going about the minimum standard for salvation, which is the gospel, and that's all they care about, that is going to breed all these denominations that are going to have a lot more liberal tendencies. But you have a lot of liberal cliques in all these other denominations, like Orthodoxy, like Catholics. They have liberal
Orthodox
cliques too.
doesn't have liberal. No, they don't.
Oh yeah, Where do you think all these Orthodox are coming from right now? The new ones.
Eastern
They're coming
Orthodox primarily.
No. All the converts are coming
from hell. They're
Protestant
demons.
churches. These
Are they
churches
staying Protestant or are they becoming Orthodox?
I'm gonna go
Because if
suit
they're not,
shopping.
that's my
Until
point.
Confluence I left.
Not
I'm
Fuck
saying
yeah, dude. Fuck
you
Confluence.
can't detach
Fuck
your
Confluence, dude.
Protestantism when you
Good
go
luck.
to Orthodox
Make sure
church.
to-
I
make sure
promise
to-
that
you
sounds
will
like
not.
an opinion.
Share a pic.
Yeah, it is an opinion, but
You
I
know?
think it's a pretty factual opinion because you're
Not a
going to see
fact.
you
No, it's
already
either a
have.
fact
Trying to see what you look like in your blue suede
You
shoes.
already have. Well, what is a fact is you already have Orthodoxy people that are in the church, even ones that are catechumens, claiming that they don't fully believe in all the doctrine, and they
See you,
use the
Brody.
quote "yet." So they're already boycotting
So
the
do
idea.
they represent? Do they represent
No.
the Orthodox Church when they
No,
say
they
that?
No,
Or are
of
they
course
being
not.
heretical?
Who represents the
So it's
Orthodox
not
Church, though?
orthodoxy.
No,
Who represents
but
the
they-
You
Orthodox
can
Church?
have bad actors, but it doesn't speak for the
That
faith
shit's
itself.
so fucking
Acting
positive.
like
Should have
there's
just kept
entire
playing it.
churches that are like this, and that's not
Because
true.
now we're debating denominations
I totally
and
concede that
if
there's
they're
more
liberal
whole
or
Protestants
Jesus.
that are wackos. I'm not
So
going to
there's no
dispute that.
liberal denominations of Orthodox. That's
No,
just
and
not.
I didn't say that. I just said you have huge
Oh,
factions
I thought he was going that way.
denominations
I'm not listening to a fucking word
that
you're
are
saying, by the way.
definitely more loose on their
Just don't give
theology,
a shit.
and they want to just have this loose interpretation of a lot of things. I mean, it's just
Who? Hold on. Then who represents the Orthodox Church? Is it the what was it? The first patriarch? What was his name? Like Bartholomew the First or some shit like that? Like who the fuck
Bartholomew.
is he?
What a dumbass
Nobody,
name.
in my opinion. It's just as if Pope Leo is nobody in my fucking opinion. Who think they can interpret the word of God?
Okay, we good?
So that why
Fuck.
should I listen to a dude in Turkey or Istanbul or what used to be Constantinople and he looks like a fucking wizard from like Wizard of Oz or some fucking wizard out of fucking Lord of the Rings? What, like, how the fuck does he know things? How the fuck did he know that what God is saying to us, what God is speaking to us? That's the ridiculousness
Oh,
of the
God.
Orthodox Church
Fucking,
and of the
what's up, J.
Catholic
Mike?
Church,
What's
thinking
up,
that
dude?
one man understands the entirety of what the Lord God is saying.
They don't believe that one man knows, and they have 2,000 years of history to back up what they think.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and support P1. You fucking
that's what they
piece of shit
claim, but then you know
sophist.
what?
Go ahead.
Bartholomew the First. Yeah, but
Yeah, how do
who
you
the fuck
prove
is
that?
Bartholomew the First, though.
I don't know anything about Bartholomew the First. I don't think that he speaks for the entire Orthodox denomination, though, does he?
He's the
How do you prove that you guys have the tradition for 2,000 years?
What's it
How do
called? Apostolic succession?
Well, so does the Catholic Church. They
Yeah, the
claim
Catholic
same
Church
thing.
would say.
You know anything about this shit, J. Mike? I don't know shit about the different denominations.
Because
and
they wanted different things.
what
Yeah,
the
but
fuck
they
they're
would say
talking
you
about.
guys broke off from
leader.
them, right? Like it's a
No, they
perspective
wouldn't.
thing.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah,
they do.
Of
No,
course
they
they
don't.
do.
I tuned
The
it
Great
out because I have no
Schism,
clue what
bro.
they're talking about. I don't give a shit about
It's
this
called the
stuff.
Great Schism.
It's a cope.
Yeah, who's the one that wanted to change something?
It's supported by
The
inductive
Catholic
assessment.
Church. So once you change from the
That's just
original,
another
you're the
fucking
one that
claim,
broke
dude.
off.
I'm just saying.
That's
if you
on
talk to a
par with
Catholic, they on the section. If
the
you talk to a
impossibility
Catholic,
of the
they obviously
contrary
don't
response.
say
That's
that.
what that is. What you
They're
just did
gonna
is
say,
basically
yeah,
that.
we broke off, and it's actually the Eastern Orthodox Church, and
Okay,
it's 2,000
so
years of
did we
apostolic
have-
succession. Obviously, they don't say
Church
that.
popped into
Yeah,
existence.
but did the
I'm like,
Orthodox
I
Church
mean,
have a pope and want him to
no,
be the
you're
leader?
right. I mean, that
No.
is true. Now I'm
The
thinking about
Catholic
it.
Church did. So they're the ones that changed everything? Okay, so they're the ones that broke
So I guess
off.
even by
Congratulations.
my own sort of inductive assessment, I think I might be
Doesn't matter
committed
if
to
they didn't
P1.
get to it or
That I
not.
think about it.
Forget about that.
Right. I'm just saying.
With
It's
the priors that I have, I think you're right. Yeah,
But it's,
I think that makes
they
sense.
may have a different perspective, but only because they're not being honest.
I understand you think that, obviously.
No, it's pretty easy. We didn't have a pope
God, I'm
before.
about
They
to
wanted to have a
fucking
pope, and that's why they
shit
created
myself.
their own
I need them to hurry up.
version of it, so they could have the pope. If you branch
There-
off
they-
from the
there was
original thing,
there was a pope
you
long
aren't-
before the first schism section. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so Peter was the first pope. Peter was the first fucking pope because he's
Did
an
he
abundant
call
rock
himself a
of the
pope?
church.
Gives a fuck
Did he
about
call
the
himself
Pope,
a
He
dude.
didn't. He called himself
Okay,
the
so then he
apostle,
wasn't a
or
pope.
apostle. But he was
Yeah.
considered an
The
apostle.
Pope is from fucking
is
O-Block.
the-
He's friends with fucking
Pope is
Chief
just
Keef
the
and King
Western
Vaughn.
term for their archbishop. They didn't start calling him Pope till later on, but they would say our succession goes back multiple archbishops. They just refer to their archbishop as the Pope.
All right,
The Pope is from O-Block, by the way.
Started calling him
So the footage-
pope and gave him more power, then that's when it changed.
Okay, so
Well, it
let's put this
changed
in
because
perspective.
of a
So,
disagreement of theology based on the filioque. So the Catholics believe
Filioque.
Catholics
That's one
have
word I
always
always
believed
hear, and I
that
haven't
Jesus and
had
the
the
Son,
slightest
or
inkling
the
of
Holy Spirit
interest to
comes
look
from
up
both
what
the
the fuck
Jesus
that
and the
is.
Son, and the Orthodox said no because it specifically doesn't say that. We don't
To me, it just sounds
include
like
Jesus.
I'm gonna deafen these motherfuckers. The filioque, I have no clue what that means. I have no clue what that. It just sounds like a word that was made up in like a fantasy novel. It literally sounds like a term that would be used in like a Harry Potter book. Unironically, Reddit atheist take. That's what it sounds like. Filioque, dude, shut up. You know.
Manuel or Miss Manuel Patriarch Bartholomew I is the current Miss Manuel Patriarch of Constantinople, serving as the 270th successor of the Apostolic See of Saint Andrew. That means that he is the successor of every other fucking pope or their version of a pope that's been around for 270 people. So how is that different than the Catholic Church? It's not. It's the same fucking shit. They just say it in
Like
different
that they
terms.
give him like political authority or the ability to run the state like the Pope does, right?
Okay, so the Pope has no such power.
When are they running the state? That's long over.
They run the
That was
state of
a
the
question.
Vatican.
That was a
Yeah, but that's-
question, but yeah. So I mean,
No.
does it happen though?
Jesus, come
Because
on,
I don't
dude.
think that the Orthodox Church does that.
Yeah, I agree. They don't.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't think of an example where the Orthodox
I really want to get through this. We got
I guess
12 minutes, not even
did a
11
ceremony
minutes
for a
and
king or
what is that?
appointed
14
a king
seconds. Come
or
on.
anything like that. I can't think of an example.
No, they crowned kings was the West thing, but I'm just saying.
Wait, what are you talking about? The king? What are you talking about? The Russians crown kings all the time too. They crowned the czars. The czars were
the
emperors
Russian
of
or the
Russia.
Russian Orthodox?
Orthodox was not running the state.
Of
I'll
course,
give
they
them
weren't
that.
running the state. Yeah, we'll give them that. But the problem
Because we
is,
know
it's still the
popes
same
in Europe
shit.
were crowning kings.
Yeah,
It's still the same shit.
What are you talking about? The same shit, Frankie.
Okay.
Oh god, fucking Emmett's here. Jesus,
Who
this
is
is
the
gonna
same shit?
this is gonna get
Frankie?
crazy. This is
Now
gonna
he
get
knows a
even
hell of
more
a lot more than
insane.
I do.
Yeah, cool.
Fuck.
But then Bartholomew the First and Pope Leo are basically the same person, just in two different things.
No, they're not the same person.
How they're not the same fucking person, Emmett?
It's very simple. One of them do you know what dictatus papae is?
Okay, Emmett, I can't speak Mexican, so refer in Cuban or English, please.
Yes, I know that Latin is Mexican. So dictatus papae. Have you heard of the document?
I'm gonna take a shit. Nobody TOS, please.
Have you heard of the document dictatus papae?
Yes, I've heard.
Should I
of
deafen them?
Okay, what does it say?
Motherfucker! Oh, explain it to me because
Okay.
I'm trying to read for something.
No, I won't deafen them. Okay, you guys are just gonna have to listen to this for like
the
5
document that
minutes.
says
I
motherfucker, that
gotta use the
document,
bathroom, all right?
it's different from the one that uses Bartholomew.
TMI,
okay?
don't care.
The point
BRB,
is,
listen to
kind
this
of-
fucking.
what kind of
Listen to the insane
powers-
rambles of insane
Then
people.
who is
powers the
Bartholomew
Pope
to
has.
you? And who is Bartholomew to you, Emmett? Oh, come on,
Bartholomew
really?
is a bishop, okay? He is a
Yeah, he's a
bishop.
bishop.
In fact,
Nothing. That doesn't mean
he
shit.
cannot. It's very simple. It's very simple. The Pope in the Roman Catholic, one of the things he can do and he does is appoint other bishops, and he is the only one who can appoint bishops. Bartholomew, does he have the power to appoint other bishops? And is he
Does
the
he?
only one that can appoint bishops?
Does
No.
he? Because you're more knowledgeable than me,
The
right?
answer, yeah, the answer is no. So it's a very different. The synodal structure and the structure from the Catholic Church are very different. The other thing that is different is one is the head of a state. The state, the papal states. Okay, they were a thing. They still a thing, even though they're very,
They're
very,
not a
very
thing
greatly
anymore.
diminished. They are because the Vatican is a state. He is
The
still
Vatican.
the head of a
Look,
state.
I understand. I understand that the Vatican is the smallest country in the world. All right, I understand that, and I understand that the Pope. It is the smallest country in the world, motherfucker.
So the fuck what? It's still a state.
I'm still fucking telling you this shit. Damn it!
Only
Emmett.
on paper. Only on paper, though. Let's be
No,
honest.
it's not only on paper. It is a state, and it runs as a state.
Yeah, well.
Oh,
Here's my.
oh my
here's,
God!
here's
It
my.
runs as a state. It defers its protection to another place, but it can have fucking walls on it, and it can,
Alright,
charge
alright,
the
let
tax
me
that
ask
it
you.
was, and he literally can tell you to get the fuck out of there if they want
Emmett,
to.
Emmett, let me ask you a question though. This is an honest question.
Mhm.
What makes you orthodoxy any different than Catholicism when it comes to apostolic succession? Why should we believe your apostolic succession over Catholic's apostolic
It's
succession?
very
That's why I'm a
simple.
baptist.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, it's very simple. It's
No,
not
you shut the
only
fuck
about
up, man.
apostolic succession. The apostolic succession has to do with the authority that the clergy has, but we don't have one authority. We have multiple authorities when it comes to the church. One of them has to do with the traditions of the church. So if we have the Council of Chalcedon, which is the sixth ecumenical council, and there is a church that is in heresy, not following said council, that is how you know that the church is in heresy, is wrong in what they're doing. In that specific council, it is stated that the church cannot be people that are working in the church, if you have any kind of title in the church, if you're a clerk in the church, you cannot hold any kind of political office. So the fact that you have the Pope as a head of a state is by default a heresy.
Okay, so then you're saying that God himself told that to Bartholomew, or told that to
God
Paul.
himself told that to Bartholomew. Do you know what a council is?
No, I'm asking you the question. Did God himself say that to who?
Yes, God himself through the power of the Holy Ghost, and in addition to Jesus Christ being the one that is at the head of the church. When the council was ratified as true, it was stated at that point that the church had to follow those kind of commands. So God himself made
say that in
the
the Bible?
ideas of the church.
Where did God himself say that in the Bible?
Oh my God!
What chapter,
Don't be
verse?
dumb, Frankie. Don't
not being
make the stupid assertion. Don't make the stupid
not
assertion
being
that it's
dumb.
only in the Bible. Okay?
So then outside the Bible, God's word is outside the Bible as well.
Yes. Where in the Bible does it say that we have internet?
Where does in the Bible just say that one
Where
man
does
knows,
in the
knows
Bible?
true word of God?
Does everything come from God, Frankie?
Does the Orthodox Church
Does
understand
everything
what
come
God is
from
saying?
God, Frankie? Yes or no?
What? No.
Not everything comes from God.
Does the Catholic Church or the Orthodox Church truly understand what God is saying to us?
Yes, they follow the will of God, so they come from God in a sense.
So okay, so then what's God's will in that then? What's God's will?
Okay, yeah. Where in the Bible does it say that the internet exists, Frankie?
Or where does the Bible say that they can't
Well,
hold
you
political
believe
office?
you believe
Where in the
in
Bible does it say that the internet exists? Anybody
believe
can tell me where in the Bible does it say that we're gonna have internet?
Damn it! Where does the
Anybody?
Bible say they know that God has told them this?
That seems like a skill issue to me, but
And anybody can answer the question. Where in the Bible does it say that we're gonna have internet?
Yeah, but
why do we want? I'm kind of lost. Why do we want that? Why do we want the Bible to say that?
I just want to know because apparently it can only exist if fucking states in the Bible.
Is Frankie saying that?
We have a holistic.
I don't think Frankie is saying. I don't think Frankie's saying that.
100%. It's like
no, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, well, the Bible doesn't exist without the councils. By the way, so your idea of we're in the Bible,
no.
because without the councils, we don't even have access to the Bible either.
What are you talking about, dude?
You fucking know
What a relief. How was it?
Yeah, where exactly in the
Was
Bible
it
does it say the
insufferable
books
or
that go in
what?
the
I mean, that's
Bible?
bullshit and you fucking know it.
Where in the Bible does it say the books that are in the Bible?
You're saying it was the Orthodoxy Church
You know
that
what? I gotta
actually is
go,
the one
dude.
that made
I
that
gotta go.
decision? Come
Where
on,
in
man.
the Bible does it say what
Emmett?
books go in the
Emmett?
Bible? Anybody's gonna
Brutal.
answer that question?
Emmett, can I talk?
Can I fucking get an answer to the question of where in the Bible does it say what books go in the Bible?
Your claim is the Orthodox Church is the one that dictated what the Bible is, and they preserved it. But the Bible was preserved long before your schism. So you're taking claim to something
What is
also the Catholic Church takes claim. Also the
What is schism?
Protestant.
What is schism?
Well, you tell me when.
Who is it? Fucking Emmett or the other dude? I think his name is Brett.
The same doctrine.
You guys have the same colloquy?
We have always have the
Filioque.
same doctrine.
Everybody loves that word.
They never switched their position on the filioque.
Huh?
They
No.
went with the literalist take of the filioque. It says that the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father, and
Right.
Catholics later on said that, well, since God the Father has this ability, Jesus also has the ability, and so Catholics are the ones that I guess diverge from the filioque.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're the ones who
and-
have the
and-
doctrine of the filioque. We don't. So I don't know what you're talking about. Which is schism?
Okay. Okay. So you don't believe there's a schism?
We believe there are schisms. We believe the Catholics are in schism, which means they're
Okay.
they are
When did
against
that
heresy.
when did that happen?
I don't know. You tell me. You want to talk about the heresy of the
because
Catholics?
The bottom line
think
is that
the
everybody is
6th century.
claiming. Everybody is claiming
The
that
file one's like
they're-
1100 or whatever, or 11
Well,
century.
that's the
you made
schism,
the
but the
claim.
filioque is the 6th century.
Let me finish
You
my
made-
point. Let me finish.
Before
my
you
point.
made your point, you made the
Oh,
claim we're on a schism.
You know where I'm going with this.
Filioque.
When
some
no, I
shit.
don't.
Don't change it. Yes. The
No,
whole
you
point-
said
the
we're
whole-
in a schism.
No.
I want to
No,
know
Emmett.
when
Yeah.
was the schism?
Because
Yeah,
I
he
asked
gets
you a
off the rails
question, and then
sometimes.
you're
He
like,
goes off the rails.
which schism? Which one are you talking about? I asked you the question.
We are not
here's
in a
my-
schism. We have the same.
Alright,
We have had
let-
the same traditions and the same theology, and we have the same apostolic
Then
tradition.
then why?
It's not just him though. It's like everybody that joins the Confluence panel, almost everybody, they all have their own sort of like off the rails sort of moments. It's crazy.
So you're not one church. So I don't know what
Yeah, I was a
you're
bit
talking about.
confused on that, Emmett. I don't know if I
can turn
misheard
it
you,
off.
but it sounded like when Brett said you have different doctrine, you're like, no, we have the same doctrine. You obviously don't have the same doctrine.
No. What this is the confusion that he's having.
I'm not having any
And
confusion.
this is a confusion that a lot of people think. Okay, we are the Catholic Church. When we talk about you're not understanding. You're talking about the Roman See.
Yeah,
The
I think I'm the
Roman
Catholic Church too,
bishop-
though.
You think that you're talking about the Roman bishop. The Roman bishop was in heresy and he was removed from the Catholic Church.
Okay. So
The
here's
filioque.
my
Yeah.
question is this: both Orthodox, both Roman Catholics, and
Mhm.
Protestants all believe
Mhm.
they were part of the group that chose which books. We didn't choose; they just accepted and affirmed the books of the Bible. That's what they all
Uh-huh.
believe. So then all
Who,
these
who was the
other
people that did
schisms-
it? Who
You-
is the
it-
people that
yeah, but
gave you the books?
But you're claiming it was your tradition when I'm telling you all traditions were still united when that happened. So there was no
No.
schism at that point. There was
There
no
is no-
doctrinal divide outside. All Trinitarians that
It doesn't
that
matter. What you're
accepted-
saying doesn't matter. What you're saying doesn't
Oh
matter.
my God!
We-
you see, you're claiming You're claiming
No,
the-
you're making
the-
a categorical error. You're making an
No,
error
I'm
of
not.
category. You're thinking that the fact that people broke away and have different traditions, they're still Christians, even if they have different traditions, or they have access to the
No,
church if
your
they have
claim-
different
your
traditions.
claim-
And I'm saying
your-
that we
your
don't.
claim-
we
your-
have the same tradition that we had in the 6th century that
I'm
we
not
have in the
talking
1st
about-
century.
I'm not talking about
Okay?
your
And
tradition.
you have different.
I'm not talking about your tradition. No, I'm not.
Yes, yes,
your
you are.
claim was you're saying to read the Bible and use the Bible, and I'm saying, and you're saying that we're the reason why you have the Bible, and you're trying to use that as
Yeah.
justification for us not knowing what the hell we're reading. My point is that
Because you are reading something that comes from our church, and you're pretending that you have
Our
access to the same
church.
kind of theology. Yeah, our church. You have the same kind of theology, and you have access to the same kind of traditions that gave you those books. Okay, and those way you have the correct interpretation, which you don't, because you don't have access to our tradition. The
No,
tradition of
no,
the church is
you're
the one
missing-
that gave you that information.
Your argument is the only reason why we can hold the sola scriptura is because you guys saved the Bible. That was your argument.
You can't hold sola scriptura because first off, First off, does the Bible have a mind?
I would say the mind of God. Yeah.
Well, I can probably tell you where it originated from. It's because you talk about the orthosphere a lot. That's why. That's why. And he's an ortho bro, so that upsets him probably.
Gonna get
I'm
there.
not. I'm not running
Is-
away.
Okay.
Which I'm not shitting on you for. I appreciate that, actually.
To respond with a question.
As many as it needs to be, because I want to know if you actually have the
Okay.
correct interpretation when it comes to the Bible. Okay. So
Okay,
first
okay.
off, does the Bible, the book on its own, okay, does it? Do you have like some kind of line that you
Conversations
can
like
talk
this are so
directly
like
to God so that He
it's because I'm
interprets it for
like
you?
an agnostic
I would say it
atheist type,
actually
but
interprets
it's like so
itself.
boring to me.
Oh.
Okay, so it has a mind to do the interpretation.
No, God is the one that has the mind that put it in there. It's not so confusing. God is not the
you're
God of
cla- you're
confusion.
claiming
He
that
doesn't.
when-
He doesn't say,
you're
"I'm going to be
claiming-
so
I'm about to hit the
confusing
blinker.
that I'm going to
I'm about
have
to
to
hit some
give you this tradition
fucking-
and authority in order for you to even
I'm about to go
understand
meet
and
Mary
comprehend
Jane.
what I did for you."
That's exactly what he says. What
No,
he
he
says is,
doesn't.
I'm gonna give you. It says I'm gonna give you a church. It doesn't give you up.
It doesn't say. Where does it say in the Bible? I'm going to give you a church. Where does it say? I'm going to get. Where does it say?
I'm gonna start chiming
where
in,
does
just
it
like
say in the
talking
Bible
shit.
that I'm going to
Watch.
give you a church so that you understand the writings that I'm having these guys write?
Oh, perfect. You don't have the
You guys are
correct
fucking
information.
retards.
Why you don't believe it? Brandon, have you ever talked to yourself?
I actually agree.
I haven't been listening to one sentence, by the way. I have
No,
not been
there's
listening.
nothing- there's nothing to listen to. I'm sorry.
So whatever I say is correct in my interpretation of things.
Well,
The
that's
point-
true. I can see that you see it that way.
The point that I'm making is when you read
Just to
when
stir
you
it up
read
a
the
little bit,
Bible,
dude, you know?
Okay, when you read the
Stir it
Bible,
up a
do you
little
become
bit.
God?
Well, when you read the Bible, do you have some sort of special Gnostic revelation that makes you to
No.
interpret
All right.
the Bible?
Well, thanks for
No.
stopping by, Death Knight, if you gotta go.
No, I don't.
And if you do videos in the future
I'm not a fucking
that
prophet when I read the Bible.
have anything to do with
Well, there's
philosophy,
really-
please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I enjoy, especially with the ortho bro stuff, I love
want an actual answer to the question. When you
deconstructing
read-
and
okay, when you
wrecking
read
that
the Bible,
shit. So
do
please,
you become
do not
God?
hesitate to
Do you
reach
have
out.
access to the mind of God? Do
See
you
ya.
have the mind of God in you at that point?
I do.
Well, he's not the God of confusion, so he makes it very
I'm
clear
not.
what he
Was my
is
question
saying.
if he was the God of confusion?
Yeah, that's what
Confluence.
you're implying.
Did I ask?
You're
if God
implying.
was
You're
the God of
implying.
confusion?
You're implying
No,
that
you
he
didn't.
is going to be
No.
so
So I'm gonna
confusing that
ask
he is going to
again
need an
because
interpreter.
apparently you cannot. Apparently you're confused because my question is: are you God at the moment you read the Bible? Do you get the mind of God in you?
Okay, you want to keep it simple and you just want your yes and no answers? No,
Yes,
I'm not
I-
God. I'm not God.
No.
What's your point?
Okay, perfect.
Well, Marilyn
Are you,
would disagree.
who is doing
We
the
have the mind of
interpretation
God. You got that's a crazy thing to not
Shut
10
up,
toes
go for
down,
it.
Brett. Come on. We have the
No,
mind
no,
of God.
I want
Brett.
to see where
I want to
see where
fight
he's going.
every single one
I
of
want
you.
to see, I want to see where he's
Let's
going.
fight. Let's go. My
Except
preference
me,
versus yours.
I want to see
So,
where he's going.
Yeah, it's very simple. Are you using your mind or are you using the mind of God to do when you read the Bible to interpret it? That is the question.
So I already answered that, but let's just hypothetically
No,
say
you haven't because you said
yes, I did. I already said no.
you
I just want to say, I
if
just
you
looked
have
this
your
up,
fucking
okay?
interpretation-
Brett, 1 Corinthians 2:16, as the scripture says, who knows the mind of the Lord, who is able to give advice. We, however, have the mind of Christ. Why not 10 toes down that? That's fucking in the Bible. We have the mind of
know.
Christ.
I know, but his whole point is
No,
he's
we
trying.
as the church, the church has the mind of Christ.
That's such a crazy reading to take that as the church.
No,
That's such a
they're-
crazy reading of that.
It's totally ridiculous.
They're literally talking to Corinthians. It's a church, and they're
I know
saying
every
the church
epistle is
have the
that.
mind
That means
of
you
God.
can't take anything. So when it's like something against sexual immorality, well, that's only to the church. You can never tell it to anyone outside the church. You can't tell it to anyone who's not Orthodox because that's only for the church. You could treat every epistle like that. Bad hermeneutics, bro. Bad hermeneutics.
Yeah, it is. No. It is actually correct that if you go to somebody else, okay, and they have absolutely nothing to do with Christianity, for example, Dusty, and you tell him, hey, cover those fucking tits. What's the first thing he says? Oh my God, don't cover them. We like to cum. So if you're actually talking about the ideas of this is wrong, and we can tell you why it's wrong, We can tell you why it's wrong because we
Why
have
only
an
you?
actual idea of what God is and how we come to those kind of conclusions. But if you don't have that, you
baby.
don't have the idea of why even is it wrong.
Yeah, but you don't
This
follow
is
that. You'll
my
still
kitty
tell
bitch Freya.
atheists that it's like abortion is wrong or that sexual immorality is wrong. But there's no scripture that I guess you would use. You could never quote the Bible because that's to the Church of Corinth.
Yeah.
That's like no, you don't follow that. That's freaking
I don't
insane.
I don't use
Piece
I
of
don't
shit.
use a scripture for that. I just use my fucking preferences because it's easier that way because that's the way that they understand it. Okay? When I talk to Brandon about things that I don't like or like, what do I tell Brandon? Oh, it's because that's my fucking preference anyway. That's the thing that I use. They don't have access to the idea of God anyway. What would I be talking to them about? Oh, well, in the Bible it says this. What the fuck do they care? They don't. The only reason they care for the Bible is to try
The
to
thing is,
tell us,
I
"Oh,
think
the Bible is corrected."
from a strategy point of view, like I feel like when you say, "Oh, this is my preference," everyone that knows you knows that you're like not being like super good faith in that moment because they know you actually don't think it's just your preference. You don't actually believe that, and everyone. Maybe if someone didn't know you, but people that know you, they know you. You're kind of just trying to make fun of them or play into them. You're like, I'm going to pretend to be an atheist. It's just my preferences. You know, but like. I know, but that's not what you hinge your morality on. That's not your meta ethics. Is my preferences, and everyone that talks to you knows that. So then when you say it's my preferences, everyone's like, okay, Emmett's not being serious right now.
In their worldview, it is my. In their worldview,
Can we
it is
finish this
exactly
fucking
that.
shit,
In their
please?
But they know it's
God
not
dang
your
it.
worldview.
It doesn't matter because I'm using. You don't. They don't see the world through me, and I don't see their world through them. But I can understand their
Yeah, I got my
position, and I can
kitty.
just
I
be
got my
directly
kitty
in their
behind
position.
me.
My position is very simple.
keep that
In
thing
your
on me,
worldview,
dude.
I just prefer Christianity. Okay, that's it. It's that simple.
So let me ask you something, Emmett. Do you even
that's
want
actually
these,
fair. That's actually a very fair statement.
Do you even want
I
the
don't
people
think it
that-
is fair. I wouldn't appreciate if someone did that to me. If I'm talking to an atheist, I'm talking to Brandon, and Brandon's like, according to my church, I think Brandon's taking the piss because he doesn't.
Hold on. Did you get you? I don't think you understand what he's saying. He's
Maybe not.
He's saying.
Is he
yeah,
fucking
you
British?
have
Why
your
did he say
preferences, I have
taking
my
a
preferences.
piss?
My
Are you
preferences
kidding me?
are in the church. He's allowing that equation to happen.
Well,
He's
okay,
saying
okay.
He has a grounding for his preferences that you don't.
Okay, wait, okay, but Emmett, then be dead ass with me. Is that what you mean? You just think that you choosing a church is your preference? Because if you actually mean that, then I completely agree. But I didn't think you would say that. I didn't think you would say it's just your preferences that you follow the church, and that you think that I would think you would have some higher reason to believe that. Are you actually? This whole time you say it, I thought you were just kind of taking the piss a bit. That's not what you just said, Alex. You just said from Emmett's perspective, even.
No,
in a teleological universe, that it's just preferences. So I'm actually being completely honest with it.
That's not necessarily true.
But you don't think it's just preferences. Okay, so we're back to that's why I don't think it's a good tactic
the
because
ortho
you don't think it's
slop
just
right
preferences.
there.
Unless you do and you believe what
Unfortunately.
Alex was saying and you think that the only reason you follow Eastern Orthodoxy is because it's your preferences.
The point is to mock somebody for the idea that they think that they can just use preferences.
I know, and I'm saying I don't think that's very helpful because people know you're mocking them. That's my whole point. Like I understand it, but I'm saying if Brandon was just like, well, according to Christianity, you're wrong, and he was like doing that sincerely to me, I'd be like, okay, well, you're not being good faith because you don't believe in Christianity. You're just trying to like pretend that you're me right now for the purpose of this discussion and like just be honest.
Do you
get what I'm saying?
When they quote a scripture, when an atheist quotes a scripture, what do you think they're doing? They're saying, in accordance to Christianity, you're wrong. That's what they're doing. What I'm doing is exactly the same. Is in
I
accordance
agree,
to my
and I don't like when
preference,
fucking
think
atheists
right
will
and
like quote me
justified.
script. That's like my least favorite thing is when some atheist who knows nothing about the Bible will quote me fucking scripture. But now we're just fighting fire with retarded fire, and I don't know if that's like. I don't know.
Hold on. You're giving ground to something already, right? Because in theory, if you for a second assume the Bible is not true, right? God doesn't exist, then it is just your preference to believe in the Bible. By any atheist perspective, that is actually a fact.
I know, but I'm saying it's when Emmett is saying that he's not talking from his own worldview. He's like cosplaying what he thinks the atheists think.
The atheist worldview is also that I'm not speaking from my preferences.
The atheist worldview, it is about speaking from.
Yeah, the atheist worldview would be that you're
Not
generally
every
speaking.
atheist
Not every
worldview is
atheist,
generally
but the
close.
based ones like Brandon, who, even though I don't like his preferences to stance, at least it's honest.
Yeah, the
You know-
moment they
you know
admit
who-
it's just preferences, I can't. It's so hard to have any real
Hey,
discussions.
is Kirk still in here?
No. Oh yeah, he's.
Please God no.
Kirk, you're the one who started this whole shit.
Yeah, Kirk did. Kirk did start this.
He did. That's
Well, I
right.
was just saying that I think that the problem, I was just arguing with that. The problem with a lot of Protestants is that they don't respect tradition, but I could have been
Which
wrong
is
about
bullshit.
You were like Kirk. You have a point, but you were confusing like sola scripture with like solo scripture. Like it's like at least for
Yes.
like we have Baptists on panel. Right, Brett is Frankie was on here. Brett like is a fucking Calvinist. So these people respect church tradition. The scripture is not
No,
the
they
only
don't.
authority. The idea is that it's the final authority. It's not like these people are like fuck
Respected
logic,
it.
fuck
Why?
reason,
It's not
fuck
the
natural
final
law, fuck the
authority.
church. That's not what it, that's not what that's a like a piss poor understanding of sola scriptura. And Emmett, you should know better. If you're trying to disagree with me on this, you should fucking know better.
It cannot be the final authority because it needs an interpretation.
Oh my god.
I'm
Yeah,
just
we
saying if we're
need
trying
man.
to I'm just saying what Kirk is saying.
I'm sorry
just saying
that
what
you don't
you can
understand
critique.
that when you read the stuff, you need a mind.
Oh
to
my God,
understand
Emmett, you're
it.
going
Okay?
back to like you can critique sola scriptura. There's good critiques of it. I'm open to hear them. I'm saying to the position that what Kirk was originally saying, that's what I have a problem with because that is not what any Protestant that knows anything about Protestantism means by sola scriptura, is that we just don't listen at all to church history or church tradition or natural law or laws of logic or anything like that. And we just read the Bible on an island and just see how we feel. That's not what any Protestant worth their salt thinks. So it's just that's a misunderstanding of sola scriptura.
What
That's
is
not
the-
sola
what is
scriptura.
What is the thing? What is exactly the thing that is different about the way that they go through their interpretation exactly?
Okay, well, then
Because
I
it's
could have been
not-
wrong about what it means.
Because it's not like there's a confluence, if you will, and you must of factors that go into it, with scripture
Confluence.
being the final authority. So when I'm reading a passage,
Okay,
I do
when
look
you
up
read
what
the
the church has historically said. I do look up what other theologians said. I do think about rationality and logic and all this stuff. I try to look at how historically this has been interpreted. I do. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Now you can say the ultimate
Yeah, I'm about to
arbiter
jump
is my
off.
mind interpreting
I
the
mean,
scripture,
they're
but that's
just
still to
gonna ramble
cheapen
about
that
this
whole
dumb
process
shit. I
of that
don't know
whole
if I care.
confluence of factors that's happening. Again, that would be solo scriptura if all I do is just take the Bible. I don't listen to any church
I did
teaching
back
ever. I don't
yesterday
put
and my
anything else, and I just
fucking
open it and I just
shoulders
read
and
it,
my
and whatever
back are
thoughts pop
super
into my
tight.
mind, I'm like based, red pill.
stretch.
That would be solo
Yeah,
scripture.
based.
That's not sola scriptura.
It's quite late for sola scriptura. The point.
I just explained the difference, brother. If you can't
No,
understand the
no,
difference
you
I just
don't,
painted,
because-
I can't help you. You're
Okay,
incorrigible
very
then.
simply. Very simple. Okay, when Christ says, "I leave you the church," does it mean what exactly does it mean when he says that he's gonna leave us a church?
What are you doing?
Yeah, I take that as the body of believers that exists. I don't take that as a
Okay,
authoritative
so is that an
structure.
interpretation? Is that your interpretation of it?
Well, whose
It is.
interpretation is it?
Is that your interpretation of it?
It is, but it's not just my interpretation. Like it's
That's right.
it's
The
not it is a
historical-
interpretation.
wait,
It's not solely
the
my
historical-
interpretation of it.
The historical church in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th century, in the 6th century would have the same interpretation as you have.
No, but Emmett, I'm not saying.
argued it.
There you go. You don't give a fuck about them. You
hold
don't give
up.
a fuck about
No,
them. I don't give a fuck about the
Emmett, no,
interpretation of the church.
Emmett.
It's about
You're
your
acting
fucking
like I'm saying
interpretation at the end of the day.
you're acting like I'm saying sola scriptura also means nothing. No, it means scripture is the final
means
authority. So if there's
nothing.
something in church tradition that I think goes against a plain reading of the Bible, then yes, that's what it means. So that's a fair critique. But I'm just saying you can't pretend that I can look at church history and decide, yeah, this reading of this passage I think is actually not what scripture is saying in this passage. That's a
Because
fair
you
thing
are
to say.
the authority. You are the authority.
I'm not
You
saying
become the
it.
authority.
Share
You become the authority.
Killing, you're obviously
If
not
I
banned
tell
from
you about the
Discord, you
saints-
little shit.
If I
Emmett,
tell
Emmett,
you about
Emmett.
if I tell you about the saints, okay, are you gonna go ahead and
Emmett,
what-
Emmett, how did they
or- or-
debate doctrine in
you-
the
you-
Oh, I
in the
can't
2nd
even
century?
post it in that chat. Damn.
how they
Did they
debate
say-
the doctrine?
Yeah,
the
did they
second
say?
century?
Here, we'll have-
Yeah,
I'll
did they
have to
say
do it from my
let's
phone,
check with the
actually.
church fathers, or did they say let's check with the scripture and compare how we're reading this? Nobody appealed to
Based.
authority.
They
Nobody.
did both.
No, they didn't. Who they go to? Polycarp?
they
I don't
did.
think
They-
so.
Yes, they did.
Oh
What are
yeah,
you
well you
talking about?
wouldn't like what Polycarp had to say. Cartna?
No.
They were doing okay in the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd century. The church fathers were the ones who hold to the traditions and the scripture. There was no Bible.
A lot of
Dude,
patristics disagree directly with the Eastern Orthodox Church, by the way, Evan. So you wouldn't probably want to appeal to a lot of these people. Just letting you
Yes,
know.
because-
I don't know if you've read. Like the Didache and Polycarp stuff and all this. I don't know if you like 10 toes down that stuff.
I will
Not
take
at
those
all.
down that stuff because the point is the tradition of the church is not based on one bishop. It's
Yeah,
not
I
like
know,
one-
but you're saying
one
we're
bishop.
right.
If you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's just about the bishop is the final thing, and they
You
cannot be ever wrong,
literally-
then the
you
Pope will be
literally-
wrong. But the Pope
You
will be right.
literally, the Pope wasn't
It
around
has
for
nothing
another
to do with it.
hundreds of years. My
The
point is
Pope
this.
was around. The Pope was the title given to two different bishops. One is the Bishop of Alexandria, and the other was the Bishop of Rome.
Oh my Lord! Yeah, we had four
And it was
popes at
given-
one time. Listen,
No, you
all I'm
dumb
asking.
fucking idiot. The
There were
Pope
four
was a title
popes
given to
at
the
one
bishop
time.
in the first and the second and third century. The Bishop of Alexandria was called a Pope. Okay.
No, he
The
wasn't.
same
First
thing
of all,
happened.
no, the word pope never even came around until after the 4th, 5th century. My point is this: is that there
No,
were
they did.
literally four popes at one time. How do you want to rectify that?
Those were anti-popes, obviously. Okay, just in
Exactly.
retrospect.
Yeah, it's like nobody was acknowledging one pope at one time. So my point is that you're talking about cherry
I
picking
am
specific
unbelievably
church fathers
patient.
in a
It's
jigsaw
crazy how
puzzle
patient I am,
to come
actually.
up with your apostolic succession and who we should listen to and who we shouldn't. And you
jigsaw
guys and
puzzle. It's
and the
authority of the
orthodoxy
church as a
was
whole.
literally the orthodoxy formation literally came through Eastern religion. It was through this mystical, spiritual, we concede to 7 mysteries. They literally are all about a metaphysical theology that most of
Metaphysical.
the majority of the church denied.
In Emmett's defense, it is a title given to the Western archbishops, I think, but Emmett's a little off on the timeline. It
Exactly.
didn't happen in the 1st and 2nd century, but it did
When did-
happen in the 3rd and
when?
4th century.
All right.
But it's
It was
kind of a
just
common title
given.
for.
It was a title given to the Bishop of Alexandria and the Bishop of Rome at the time. Those were just little titles that were
Video
given.
time?
It didn't mean what it means now. The Pope
figured
idea was
out-
not in
I-
the
I-
was not
I
thousands
have-
of years later. Oh my God! Whatever.
I have
Doesn't
figured out
matter.
how you win
It doesn't
debates.
fucking matter because your
You
idea
win
is
debate. You win your debates with a tone
no,
of
I don't
voice.
win debates, but debates mean nothing to me, okay? I don't give a fuck about winning or losing a debate. It means fucking shit. No, doesn't mean anything. Either I'm correct or I'm incorrect. That's the way I look at it. So I look like I'm trying to pretend that I'm winning this
God.
debate and I destroy them. If you actually look at my channel, none of my things say that except for Manar because he's a fucking idiot, okay? And I really dislike fucking Muslims. So fucking sandy people. Anyway,
we can agree on that.
so the fact that I dislike sandy people doesn't mean that I'm trying.
Okay, let's
to
not
win
go
the
there.
debate
Where
that way.
Brandon is streaming as well. Okay, let's not.
Probably to a lot of fans.
True.
There's
Yeah,
sometimes
stop.
canyons.
Video
So,
time?
Yeah, we do. Let's finish this video. Brandon doesn't have much. Before you start, Brandon, actually, do you know if the Boner Box video has been released by James, or is that still a members only? Because I want to react to that shit.
I think it's still members only, but I can fucking
Hey,
record that
Emmett,
shit and send
Emmett.
it to you if you want.
Emmett, I wanted
Yeah,
to thank
if you were willing, that's the one I'm
Emmett.
most excited about.
Sure.
Emmett, I want to thank you for the discussion
Thank you.
either way, buddy.
Yeah, I get a little bit heated, but I don't mean anything.
Yeah, me
Wouldn't
too.
that
super bad with it.
but Confluence, if you react to something that's members only because someone else recorded it, wouldn't that get your stream booted?
I don't think so.
What are you?
And for 2, they're going to have
You
to
would have
prove
to be
that
a
shit,
member,
you know?
though, for-
Prove that shit.
Yeah, you'd have to think
He
I'm
is
like
a
not a
member.
member. I am a member. Yeah, I just need Brandon to record it for me because my membership is not working right now.
Is it behind a
policy
paywall?
goes. I think
Yeah.
God made both of us, right?
Behind the
All
paywall.
people were made in the image of God. And I think that what God wants isn't to make
The debate, the Erudite
Oh, and really
debate,
quick.
Erudite was released.
Because I know Emma just got here. If you want me to pause it, just yell out pause and I'll pause it for you.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that the Erudite debate, this debate has already been released.
Yeah, this one.
It's out. Mhm.
Yep.
didactic biblical interpretations policy, because that's not what he did, right? To a policy level, it seems to be the case that there is just better benefits overall, broadly for society. There are cons, but there are mostly benefits when you have a policy of allowing your human capital to have opportunity and choice. And I would argue to you, there's a greater Christian imperative than men should be the household, which is choice, because the entire bracket of salvation is about choosing God. So why on earth do humans think that they know better than to try and insist that women can't have simple choices like where they work or whether they get to vote? I think that that's a bastardization of Christianity when we do that.
All right.
Thank you,
This
sir.
is going to be our last question.
Rachel, if your position...
Oh, by the way, it's not the last question. He says that like 3 more times, by the way.
is so attractive and so elusive, why do you need so many restrictive and regressive policies to maintain it? Because as it stands, your lifestyle would be able to coexist under Kyla's worldview, but Kyla's lifestyle would not be able to coexist under your worldview. And so I just think that if women were not able to do all these things and be able to sustain this lifestyle, you wouldn't need the restrictive policies to stop them. It just wouldn't be
Can you
possible in the
point
first place.
to one restrictive policy that I advocated for in this debate?
Would you advocate for the regression of the 19th Amendment?
Yes, but only
Okay,
because universal suffrage.
Okay, well that's that.
So
that.
it wouldn't be just women can't vote. It would be most people.
Do you think
can't
mothers
vote.
would mothers be able to enter the workforce under your worldview?
They've always been legally allowed
Under your
to.
worldview.
Yes, they've always been legally. I've never argued to legally prevent women from working or mothers from working. I think it needs to be the culture. These things come from the culture and the religious values, not from policy. We don't just outlaw things. I've never advocated for restrictive policy changes other than we need to
19th.
limit suffrage.
It's
But
pretty
that
restrictive.
does
Voting
not
rights are
just.
pretty restrictive.
But that doesn't just limit women's votes. It limits all votes back to what the founders had framed. I think we need to return to a limited suffrage republic if we're going to try to have a republic.
Hi, Kyla. My name's JS. Your counter to feminism having the
Oh, it's
biggest
JS.
section on birth rates
Shout
is
outs.
industrialization or modernization. I'm wondering, can you elaborate on how that makes sense when what I see, industrialization and modernization makes it easier, safer, cheaper to have and raise kids?
That's actually a really interesting question. This is the one thing that's kind of like called the paradox of urbanization, is that you're right.
Paradox.
In many ways, we have more technologies, more supports, more welfare available than ever before. But it seems to be the case that as industries and nations modernize, birth rate tends to fall. And we see this across the board of every country that begins to modernize. And that is a great question. I actually don't know the answer to that, which is why
Oh,
what we
you
have
know
to do
the
is go,
answer.
well, what are ways that we can offset this declining birth rate so that young families feel like they can't afford to have children and then do?
All right.
Yeah, so my question is actually for Rachel. So Rachel, we heard Erudite make a lot of claims, but based on her standard, we can't actually know if anything she said was true. So if we don't have access to certain truth because she doesn't understand her
stillborn.
dilemma anyways, from Erudite's
Yeah, it's
view, why
stillborn.
ought we
Is it?
actually debate? And since we
Yeah.
can't know who is correct,
Yeah.
why,
Oh,
or why
fuck,
can't
it
we know
is.
that Rachel's the
And
one
you
who
see
won this
who's
debate
next?
anyways?
Well, that's true.
Wait, who is that behind
Jay
him?
Dyer,
Jay
dude.
Dyer.
It's Jay Dyer.
Yeah,
Is
Dyer.
it? Oh god, I'm so face blind.
It's the fucking gauntlet.
Brandon, do you know? Are you privy to how much Adderall Not So Likable took for the debate?
I don't think she's on Adderall.
I
I don't
am.
think she's on Adderall. I actually don't think she is.
She is
I actually
fidgety,
don't think
but
she
I
is.
think it's her
I think
nerves.
that's just like
Because you wanna
the
fuck her.
Methstheny.
Absolutely.
I do not want to fuck Kyla, to be very clear.
Yeah,
I
right.
truly don't. I think it's just a
Yeah,
destiny
right.
critique thrown onto Kyla. I don't think Kyla talks that fast for it to be like an Adderall
She
thing.
doesn't talk that fast,
Yeah,
and
right,
then she,
dude.
she speeds up during the debate, and she keeps speeding up until the point that
Yeah.
she's literally going over.
Yeah.
her
I just
own
don't get that
words.
vibe. Again, I think it's just like she's connected to Destiny, and Destiny uses Vyvanse, and so therefore
Have you ever-
easy.
Well, she is fidgety. I think she's just
Have you-
nervous and anxious. I'm not sure if it's
No.
actually like Adderall, but she is
No, no.
fidgety.
Have you ever dated a woman that was been addicted to Adderall?
No.
Anybody?
No comment.
I was engaged to one. She was an educated junkie. Like she was obsessed with her exams. She was obsessed with learning. She was just like Kyla. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah, I don't get that vibe personally, but
Could
Yeah.
have, rather
Could be.
than just
Could be.
sticking to demographic doom, I could have just precepted her and said, "You don't believe in objective truth anyway, so why are you here?"
So here's the thing that it seems like you guys have like never understood. If we want to talk about the Agrippas, right? Are you a methodological skeptic?
What? Say that again.
Are you a methodological skeptic?
Methodological skeptic?
Yeah.
I don't know. What
So
does that mean?
I don't care about the problem of levying the accusation of Agrippa's trilemma because I just engage with the assumption that
She
sometimes assumptions
loves
have to be made
Agrippa's
to be have to
trilemma.
engage.
Oh,
All
so you just want to
theories of
start with
systems-
random axioms?
No, not random, just like yours aren't random. What I've done and what you guys seem to not quite understand is I've labeled the thing that you do, what you call presuppositionalism, is levying Agrippa's trilemma against your opponents. All I've done is pointed out that just as your opponents fail Agrippa's, so do we. I just don't care because I'm not a methodological
God
skeptic.
damn it.
So, but why should
She is still confused. Myself and somebody who's more philosophically competent to me have explained Agrippa's trilemma to her, and she still uses language like everyone fails Agrippa's trilemma. I don't know why. It's like she hasn't like taken in any of the information that people that are no offense to her that are more philosophically competent than her have told her about it, and she still is running with this, and that's why she's going to keep getting wrecked by people that are in the orthosphere because she still doesn't understand the quote unquote issue or non-issue there.
Something she's talked about so much, it's weird that she doesn't just like kind of reflect and change her the way she talks about it.
But do you fail Agrippa's trilemma, Brandon?
No one
even
can
know what that
fail
means.
Agrippa's trilemma.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
this is
even-
nonsensical.
Now you're failing Agrippa's trilemma, Brandon.
God, that triggers the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. It's brutal.
we grant your starting or foundational axioms and not mine?
So that we can have a conversation
I'm a
and
bad
you
faith
can, you
debate
can critique it to
rapist,
see if
too.
you think it
But we're
makes some
doing
level-
it arbitrarily based off of nothing but
Well, how do you?
reference.
Again, all you're doing is you're levying the Agrippa's problem to me. But I would say to you, you have the same problem. I just don't care. I don't think it's interesting. I'd rather just contextually
wanna
grant certain
jump in
presuppositions
just
and
because-
axioms and then build from there.
We're just gonna go with this.
Hey, Kokoshuko, hey, Steel
asked
Man.
Rachel about Hypatia. So, being an educated philosophy person, could you name one work by Aristotle and one by Hegel?
Sure. I don't know what works by Hegel.
By the way, if I'd have known that's what she was
Phenomenology.
saying, I would have answered. I couldn't
Of
understand
spirit.
her because she
Of spirits.
One
the
fish,
dry
two
Adderall
fish, red
mouth,
fish,
and I
blue
couldn't
fish.
You're like
what
slowing
is she-
down with
What-
your age. It's a little hard to keep up.
No,
What-
I'm just
so
like
one
a
from Aristotle
normal
and one from
person
Hegel?
who's not on speed.
Aristotle would be
And
the five
ethics.
dialogues.
That's the thing. Right,
Nicomachean
Brandon?
ethics.
Fuck, I'm like missing words, but I'm close.
Hey Jay, are you gonna unblock me yet, or are you just gonna
Jai.
keep running from me forever? And I thought you quit debating, or did you not? I just also want to be clear.
We're gonna jump to the next.
I'm
question.
not an expert.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
get
all right.
more
James, I'm so
sassy,
sorry.
Kyla.
Is we're just gonna turn this into like shitting
All
on
right,
erudite
we
session?
do. We have to keep it. Let's keep it orderly, folks. And I think this is gonna be our last question. Sorry, brother.
Hello, I'm Victoria.
Wow.
It's not.
Hi.
It's
First
not
off,
the last.
you had made the comment that most men in hospice care express that they have a lot of regret about not being in their children's lives enough. I feel like there was a recent study that showed that men currently, I want to say it was like back in the 80s, less than 10% had ever changed a diaper, and now it's over 80%. So I feel like that point is kind of moot for modern times because dads are around more and they are more involved with their children. Excuse me. And then besides that, the main point or the main question was, is feminists doing more harm than good, or more harm or more good? Margaret Sanger,
nervous.
obviously Planned Parenthood, she was a eugenicist. As a black woman in America and a mother with special needs kids, do you feel like modern feminism has truly helped equality for all women or just white women?
I think it's been better for white women because I think when you have intersectional layers of oppression, the reality is that something that benefits just one intersection will benefit the most privileged group of that thing. Is it true that Sanger was a eugenicist? Yeah, I believe most feminists have disavowed that, and I would disavow that, right? I think that that's bad. Does that answer your question, Victoria?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Before we give a huge round of applause, I just have to get these important things
Uh-oh.
out. First,
Look who's at the end of the line.
Wait, who is it? Wait, who is it?
It was Andrew.
I got pulled up.
All right, Andy.
Oh, look at that.
All right.
This is what you get when you sell the tickets. You get to ask.
To ruckus applause.
So I just have one question I didn't actually hear an answer to. Can you concisely tell us what you plan to do about demographic collapse. Concisely, not, blah, 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 we need this and we need it. Tell us concisely. What is Kyla Turner's plan to stop demographic collapse?
I hear you, Andrew. It seems age is affecting you both. Very simply, tax credits. Tax credits. Matt and Pat leave. Making education. Making.
All right, we got to give her a chance.
Do you want me to
hold on,
answer?
hold on. We got to give her a chance to actually talk. Go ahead.
Tax credits. Making educational reform so you can go into careers faster. Making it so it's cheaper to have babies. Making it affordable to raise children.
Club Exile,
in
thank you for the
low-income
raid.
Households where a woman works
Appreciate
at home.
it.
Simple stuff like that.
All right.
just give
I do
everyone
want
money.
to. I do want to just hold on one second. Okay, before we
That's
hold
not
on one
economics
sec. Hold on, bear with me. Before we do a huge round of applause, just a couple quick housekeeping things. First is if you have a signed emblem page.
All right, I guess that's it. Yeah.
That's it. That was the last question.
That was hell.
That was
Thank
brutal.
God. After that, I actually want to hear Kirk's question.
So how many?
No,
how
not
much
even
money do we
close.
print? I have a question for Kirk. Kirk, in order to resolve, in order to finally resolve demographic collapse, how much money do we print?
Oh, he probably hates that. He's not here anymore.
Oh, is Kirk gone?
Yeah, he left.
When finally
no.
people are ready for Kirk time. People are
Oh,
begging
no.
for Kirk after that debate.
Oh no, I'm gonna ask that question every time I go on panel and I see Kirk. I'm just gonna keep on asking the same question. In order to finally resolve demographic collapse, how much money do we print?
All of it.
All right, boys, I'm jumping off. You guys have fun.
All right, Brandon. It's
All
been
right,
fun.
thank you, Brandon.
Good to see you again.
Yep. See ya. All right, that was fucking brutal. We didn't even finish the debate. We watched the first like 45 minutes and then skipped to the Q&A. Actually, let's fucking hold on. We're going to ChatGPT. Hold on. That's what we're going to do really quick. We're going to have ChatGPT decide who won that fucking debate. Watch, this is what we're going to do. Close that. Hold on. Bring up the full transcript, please, not just the part about Botox. Hold on.
Faster. Making it so it's cheap.
Hold on. Yep. Let's see if we refresh. We can get the full transcript. There we go. Okay. Well, let's figure out where exactly the Q&A starts. Was it about one?
All right. Sponsor a
To remain single and
15
unmarried. Matter if this.
Okay, so about 138.42. There we go. And then we'll go all the way to the beginning. Yep. ChatGPT, who won the debate? Okay, we're just going to... Okay. How is that the first... Okay, did it get it? All right. Actually, hold on. Let me put this over here really quick. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to summarize this debate and tell us who won and give a score out of 10 for each debater. Bleach on what? No. Why? Okay. Hopefully that's not too much text. All right. About to... All right. Now let's bring it back over. See what happens. All right. Who fucking won? We'll let ChatGPT decide. Maybe. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Holy shit, this is, I mean, at least it's thinking about it for a good amount of time. Verdict. Wow, but not decisively. Wow. Okay. 7.4 out of 10, 6.2 out of 10. I'm not reading all of this. Oh, fuck. I mean, it's giving me like more than I asked for. All right. Rachel's family model. Come on. Kyla more directly satisfies the burden created by the original motion. She identified specific historical goods produced by feminism and distinguished those benefits from the excesses of particular feminist movements. Won approximately 55 to 45. Wow. Rachel won the emotional framing. Kyla won the causal and comparative argument. Look at that. All right. Well, there you have it. ChatGPT thinks Kyla won. And the thing is, I would have to rewatch it and really pay attention, but I think I would agree with that assessment. I think Kyla probably barely won that debate. The only thing, Kyla just needs to work on, like, rhetoric. That's really about it. That's really about it. Like her debate mechanics aren't the best either, but she debates how most like Twitch or YouTube streamers debate. This kind of ping pong ball back and forth style where you're just, throwing random arguments out that aren't necessarily about the debate proposition, and then you go down rabbit holes, like the sort of linear debate that these motherfuckers always do, which is like the norm in these spaces. So I'm not like just criticizing her for that. Everybody does this. Destiny, Rachel, Andrew. Andrew actually doesn't. I mean, he does do that, but he talks to people that are philosophically competent, like Avi and Ask Yourself, and people like that are in that sort of space. And then Pisco kind of takes those things into consideration too. So Pisco and like Andrew are probably the people that do it the least that are in these sort of political debate spaces. But yeah, I think that sounds about right. Here, I'm gonna go back into that Discord really quick and just to trigger them with that. Wait, why can I not hear you guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Brandon.
Oh, okay. I can hear you now. I just wanted to come back and let you guys know that ChatGPT said that Kyla won the debate by a small margin. Just to trigger you guys. I just want to let you guys know that. All right.
Yeah, because
Bye.
we obviously care about what ChatGPT and a bunch of Indians think about it.
Okay, I'll do Grok.
My
All right,
God,
see
the
ya.
red thoughts.
I just wanted to stir it up really quick. All right. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.